great. But in the stage, when I got asked the questions from Bude Clara, Hoki Bude. Just as usual, Bude. What are you guys doing?
What are you guys doing?
They're pulling a Nonic is what I usually say in the interviews because their interviews are pretty bad.
That's
It
true.
is.
That's true. But we're gonna go straight into our next upcoming match, and we want to know what you guys think back at home. Season 13 Deja Vu. Can Geek secure a victory over Onyx? Because if we take a look at their regular season results, it was a 2-1 Geek victory in leg 1, and then it was a 2-1 victory for Onyx in leg number 2. So, you guys think A, with Make Kids Geek will win, B, Onyx back to their prime era, or C, it's been intense. Do you think both games will be... Wait, what? Both game plan unique. Oh, so both the teams come with a unique game plan. All right, so you guys can vote in the comments. It's usually pinned, A, B, or C. We're gonna check in with you guys later on with the results. So we're gonna go straight to our panelists. What do you guys think?
We got to remember as well, just last season, Onyx were knocked out by Geek Fam on day 1 of the playoffs. 3-2 with a Natan and Yves. It was a Geek... It literally gave birth to the term Geekable.
Yep.
Now when you're falling behind, you can always say, guys, is it Geekable? That was Geek Fam's worst lineup.
Yeah. I gotta say, I agree. But when they were in their best in Jakarta International Velodrome, they weren't able to secure a spot in MSC. So I'm kind of afraid on what's gonna happen here in this stage because, again, deja vu, that might happen again.
I actually disagree. I don't think the Velodrome, the Season 13 roster, was the best roster. I think the best roster they have
Until now?
is this roster.
Yeah, I agree.
Before that, Season 12. You agree?
Season 12.
It was the M5 roster, Nile.
I prefer Season 13 more.
Wow.
Interesting
Wow.
coming from Geek Community here, but let's take a look at the poster right now, right? 5 playoffs and 4 clashes. So ever since Season 10, I believe that was the season that they didn't make it to playoffs, but Season 11 was the season they made it to playoffs, right?
Yes, sir.
And it's been 5 seasons since that. But every time somehow Geek make it to playoffs, they always meet Onyx, whether it be in the grand finals or in the upper brackets. And so far, it's looking like a yellow-dominated matchup here. What do you guys think about this time?
It's interesting to see that the only time they've won was with their worst lineup. Like, their worst playoff lineup. Obviously, we don't count Season 10. 11 was a very new Geek Fam, just a new version of what we saw from Season 10 with a few members coming in. But, yeah.
They
As
always...
a Fam Unity, man. What do you think? I don't know.
I like the story that Geek Fam is trying to build here because every time they're up against Onyx in the playoffs, they're always the challenger. It doesn't matter how good Geek right now is. You know, looking at their performance yesterday, Onyx, I think Geek Fam is somehow still the challenger in this case. And also looking back at the history of Onyx was able to do the MSCs, the 4 Peats, 6 championship. I think this is gonna be a hard match.
I agree. I think predictions are all over the place.
Not for
some
me.
people are, obviously, you're Onyx, right?
Yeah. No doubt.
But before we continue this, let's take a look at what you guys thought back at home. Results are out. How can Geek secure a victory over Onyx, and whether or not they actually can in the first place? So it looks like, wow, 72% of you guys actually believe that Onyx are back to their prime era. And do you even, will you question that kind of opinion? Looking at the performance in the last points of the regular season,
Oh,
up
boy.
until yesterday as well, with still more pocket picks and pocket strategies they still have on the table. Sheffin, I mean, for Geek today,
Which is really weird. You mentioned pocket picks, right? This is usually that Beloy is special in.
Exactly.
He excels at pocket picks. But right now, looking at Onyx hero pool and what they've brought on in the playoffs, you can see here, we got a stat here. Where's the pen?
cool. We have stats,
You know,
boys and girls.
This is the total hero that Geek Fam has picked throughout this season. You know?
Okay,
this
all
is-
the way where?
This is Onyx. This is Onyx. So it's pretty much a 2-to-3 ratio. I don't know if you guys can see it.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, man. You mentioned about the strategy and try to just contain the pocket picks that they try to bring to the table for Onyx, you know? But I don't think they should even bother doing that. Because it's a bit too wide at this point.
I agree. I think when it comes to certain pocket picks like the Kaja, you don't need to take care. You don't need to really care about it. But let's say we get into the second phase where the pocket picks are usually, I mean, where the pocket picks usually come out. you gotta go and respect it, you know? A couple of times you want to ban out these prio picks, but respecting these pocket picks that can come out, especially when you already have utility jungles, ban out these damage dealing XP for Lutfi could be a good way
I can see
to
that.
go.
I can see that.
Because speaking of these pocket picks, it's actually a really good topic because if we're comparing both of the junglers, the kids that you saw with Alyssa earlier on, right? Make Kids and Kairi, that's where the glaring stark difference kind of happens, right? So far, Kairi has the highest hero pool. 13 unique heroes picked in the jungle. Meanwhile, for Make Kids, only 7. So we're seeing yet another showdown between a veteran player in Kairi and Make Kids as a young blood. Yesterday's showdown, it looked like kind of weird because we were comparing Arfi and Iman, and we saw that Arfi was able to actually kind of get a lot of, I would say, up-ons on Iman, right? A lot of first bloods happening in the lane. What do you guys think about this matchup in particular, though?
For me, I mean, these are the two best junglers in Indo. I agree with what the asset is bringing up here. The statistics have been amazing for both these teams. Junglers, Kairi and Make It. It was a toss-up between both of them for my first team choice as well.
Ooh.
And the reason is because both of them are so good at assassins, but also at utility. We saw just yesterday Annabelle do really well on utility. Junglers, Rin, who was just amazing on assassins, but on utility in the regular season, doesn't perform. It's always one or the other. These two junglers have the capabilities to bring the best out of utility, out of assassin, but it's also because the team surrounding them can do that too. Both of them can play both styles.
You know why? They got something in common.
What?
They were Kairi in EVOS back then in Philippines? No, right?
No.
Okay. I was trying to say that, but...
He was in Blacklist?
Yeah,
and Onyx.
Blacklist. It was a young Blacklist Kairi, and his name was Full Clip, I
Full
believe.
Clip.
Yeah.
Full clip.
Full clip.
Sorry, EVOS fans, for the stray.
It's okay. You tried. You tried to find something.
Make Kids is from EVOS.
Yeah.
I think right now they hope they kept them.
But I'm pretty sure the Geek Fam community are happy that Make Kids is no longer in EVOS, that he's in a Geek Fam right now. You can see them actually
Oh.
coming into the venue together. And on the other side, we have the Sonics ready to show their support for their team in the Jakarta International Velodrome. And you know what? I'm pretty sure those of you guys back at home are also huge fans of these two teams. Come over. The tickets are still available. Check it out on the GoPay app and the official MPL website to get free diamonds. So, you know, if you want to meet Mirko as well or Chefin, you want to take a picture with them, maybe give a gift to them.
Oh.
That's also
Interesting.
possible, right?
And it doesn't matter if you're not Indonesian. If you're a Filipino, there's no excuse.
Yeah,
Come on,
Midnight's
because
here.
Mr. Midnight, can I say the...
No, no,
next
no,
one?
no, no,
Okay.
no.
Mr. Midnight is
Say
here in
PL.
MPL Indonesia to watch Kairi, to watch Beloyski as his people play in the playoffs.
People.
Yes,
Literally.
they are.
Okay. But back on this, the smiling jungler. I think in the back rooms when we were doing our briefing, somebody was like, not so smiling later on.
Who was that?
Chefin.
Who was that? I actually do not know.
Someone said that. Was it? I forgot who
Sounds
it
like
was.
a Gani thing to say, you know?
Oh,
But I'm not too sure if it's
okay.
actually Gani who said
I think
that.
it was Realize.
Okay, another Onyx
Nah,
fan.
he will realize that it's gonna be wrong.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. the
Why,
Sky
why?
King.
Why? Is it because of the Sky King jungler?
Well, not really, because
Oh.
Sky King is better right now,
Okay.
currently. For me, at least. But the whole team of Onyx, again, if we're being realistic, Onyx is the better team. On paper, period.
Okay.
In any, like, do you think like there's an edge on a single role in Geek Fam compared to Onyx?
I think so.
Loisky?
I think as a team,
Kenzie.
as a unit, it's unfortunate because it's weird where I agree with you. In terms of individual power, mechanics, they're not on par with Onyx, but I think as a team, they are better. Like, they perform as a unit so well. They're much more coordinated. Even in Onyx win yesterday against CLID, we saw them scatter a couple of times, especially when the drafts aren't, you know, fully in their favor.
But when it clicks though,
When it clicks. But they were up against a TLID who looked like they were 2 metas behind.
oh yeah, you're right. The Alpha Matildas.
No, that's true.
We've been seeing, I think in day number 1, a lot of blunders, a lot of bad drafts.
Oh, yeah.
Too many bad drafts. From a red team in particular. Don't pick Barats. But Juice in first pick still coming in as well, right? So
Weird.
this is where we get to see real drafts. At least I hope. I
Wait.
hope after saying
Don't
that,
jinx it. Don't jinx
imagine,
it.
right? I say that and they're like, Layla or Mia Jungle. No, I really hope here, this is where we get to see real Indonesian MLBB. Because yesterday, it was MLBB.
I mean,
it
in a way, it was
a
Indonesian
version.
MLBB also.
But it's not real.
Broadly type.
That was like that's something you find in the thrift store. It was like a used 2 seasons ago type of, not washed properly, meta.
Oh.
That makes sense. I would agree. I would agree. I think Sheffin, not Sheffin. Why do I realize? I'm doing a miracle. I'm doing a miracle here.
Yeah. Why? Okay.
Realize and Arashi also shared that same sentiment, right?
Okay.
It was kind of cool to see how action-packed things were, especially in match number 2. But what is going on with these teams, right? Execution wasn't clean. You mentioned the drafts already as well. So it's a little bit of a recap for those of you guys who missed the action yesterday. A lot of pocket picks resurging. Do you think we might see something new from Beloyski too today?
From Beloyski, I gotta say, I don't think so. Kairi, maybe, despite him picked already
What
13
else
players.
can he use in the jungle?
Leomord, Martis hasn't been
Okay.
picked up. Akai is still on the table. Even Dairoth, Onyx really loves the Dairoth back then for boots, or even for Kairi if it's if it fits the lineup, because it kind of can complement all the physical damage dealer from the marksman.
What season was that? Are we
Oh, dude, that was season
rewinding?
11.
Is that true? Are we actually going back to that old meta?
It looks like we're slowly getting back to there, right? I mean, we saw the Barats yesterday, although it wasn't utilized properly, it wasn't also comboed properly. Instead of a Barats Matilda, we saw Barats Badang. But I agree in a way, but also I gotta disagree. Some of those picks, I like Dairoth. I think it's a matter of time before we see some more physical shred. But it also really comes down to the composition that they want to go for. If they have a damage dealer in the gold lane and even in the jungle that can deal a lot of damage, physical damage, then yes, the XP Dairoth will come back. The Paquitos will come back with the burst. Imagine, right?
Paquito
Baka
Dairoth?
gets shredded by the Dairoth, and then the Paquito starts coming in, bursting them. I do want to say, though, however, in terms of picks, why I really like Geek Fam is because they just stick to what works. We've seen a lot of team experiment, and this is the reason you brought up the whole table, the unique hero thing. Yes, Onyx have done this, and it has worked for them. But for Geek Fam, they've taken a different approach, right?
Yep.
Every time the Suyo was left open when it was broken, they would just pick it up. Every time the Joy was left open and it was broken, they would pick it up. Fanny as well. And for the most part in the regular season, teams would just be letting these picks go. So Geek Fam consistently would just be taking these. I don't think it's a reflection of how bad their hero pool is. I don't think it's a reflection of how little strategy they have coming into the playoffs, because they have a lot of strategies, they have a lot of pocket picks. It's just, hey, if we get to pick the same heroes all over again and we keep winning on those, if it ain't broke, don't fix it type of deal for Geek Fam. They've learned from the past when they've always gone for pocket picks and then they get read out. I'm talking about the Hellkurt,
The Sabers.
the GKs.
Hey, the Hellkurt works in the regular season against Dewa, though.
The Hellkurt?
Yeah.
We don't count that match. We don't count the non-playoff teams here.
Oh yeah, I like
Oh.
the fact that Beloyski is pretty much first half is Cholosky, second half is Badangski.
Badowski.
That's spicy. A lot of things have been discussed, ladies and gentlemen, but it looks like the time is here, and the time is now. Match number 1, opening up day number 2. Geek and Onyx are ready, and they're headed over onto the stage in the Jakarta International Velodrome.
Ladies and gentlemen, the first match of the upper brackets. You can see both teams ready, walking in with the fans, escorting them, giving them those high fives. Motivation for the Sky Kings and the Kingslayers, who are going to be meeting once again. So far, the matchup favoring the Sky Kings, with the Kingslayers slowly but surely with possibly their best lineup to date. Will try to give us the best match they can. Let's welcome both these teams one by one, the Kingslayers, Geek Fam! But on the other side, despite having a shaky season, despite having to go all the way from plains to make it this far, the favorites, the Sky Kings, Onyx!
It's not about how you start, it's about how you finish the regular season. And both of these teams shared that same strategy or that story. Yep, coming back, Onyx just became the old Onyx. The glory of Onyx is coming back to Indonesia. And now Geek Fam, the same old script over and over again. And these are the brains that you see just now. Dora DSP, Blovzy, Coach Adi, and also Coach Yep. One of the best in the business in ID.
There's just been so much to discuss that we haven't even really touched their official team lineup here, right? For Onyx, we're pretty sure who's going to be starting with Savero as well as Lutfi.
Oh!
Kenziski.
Wow.
Wow, okay.
The choice in Kenziski. Thoughts on this?
It kind of, you know, it's the same with TLID yesterday.
Yeah.
Yes, there's an option in RN Cheeky that's much more seasoned, much more experience, even in the World Championship stage. But at the same time, when you see the scrims, when you see the result that Kanziski has been putting throughout the regular season, then I don't think there's reason for him not being in the lineup.
I think Kenziski is the better choice here, actually, coming into the playoffs. I don't know why, but Chidera has always seemed a bit too safe when it comes to the playoffs, right? Like, the way he plays, when he's on the Natan, it works. When he's on the Claude, it works. But unfortunately, a lot of these picks aren't even meta. We haven't even been seeing the Moscovs get picked up that much. Only once by Kyo, and it won once. For the most part, I think we're going to be seeing more of these team-fighting picks, and that's where Kenziski really shines. Wan, heck, even the Harith and the Grangers.
The Claude, that's also something that can explore too.
That I don't like.
Really?
Yeah,
it worked well.
In the regular season.
Okay.
It's funny that you guys mentioned that because we don't see those heroes on the poster right now talking about Geek's meta picks. No Wanwan, no... What other hero did you
Granger,
mention?
Harith.
Okay,
Yep.
I guess Granger and Harith is there.
I think it's just because in the regular season, Wanwan is a pretty tough hero to pull off, right? A couple of teams just go for those counter picks and go for, I would say, a very... It's just about the clutch factor. The Wanwan is a super clutch hero that does well in a high-stakes setting. In the regular season, when everybody is so calm, when everybody's so chill, it's easier to counter such a flashy hero like that. It's also very easy to counter in the playoffs if you just don't ban Irithel.
Still on that?
Visiting the
Always.
How long?
Nightmare.
I mean,
Up
Miracle
until they
takes
ban
six.
Irithel.
Yeah.
This will be the talk of the town.
Yeah.
But also 1-1 seems to have a resurgence here just because of the fact that Fredrin and Voxia has picked up much more often. But it's still a bit conditional though, at the end of the day. The Farsa has to go away. As you said, the Irithel has to go away. And even in the late game, you would think that, you know, 1-1 would have a field day because no one can catch the 1-1. But once you build the Immortalities and the Winter Crown,
With the natures.
Wind of Nature, that's become a whole different story. There's a lot of layers that you have to uncover to be able to win the team fight.
Speaking of layers, we saw earlier on the asset for Onyx. Those pocket picks, man. Look at those win rates. Almost all at 100%.
All of them.
All of them
Valir's
are
0%.
actually 100%.
For Kairi.
But was
For Kai.
Valir on the pocket pick thing?
Yesterday was, I don't think it was here.
Okay, I think they deleted that. They're like, you know, we don't talk about that Valir game. But Julian coming back in, we haven't really talked about Julian. What made it work? Do you think a lot of these junglers can actually use that to explore coming into the playoffs?
I think it's also the fact that Fabian picked the Alpha first. They needed someone that can deal damage, but at the same time, sustain the lifesteal, the spell fams from the Julian is going to help him to be able to survive in a team fight. And you know what's interesting? The last time the playoffs was held in Jakarta International Velodrome, Kairi brought the Julian back too in Season 13.
And they won. That was our 4P.
Against?
What?
Against which team?
Was it Geek Fam?
Was it Geek?
Is it not Bigatron?
Dude,
Oh.
I don't know, actually.
Wait.
Huh?
I don't remember Season 13.
Mirko doesn't remember
Wait, no.
something?
Bigatron got knocked down
Oh, against Evos, maybe.
by Evos. By Evos and then by Geek, not by
Oh,
Onyx.
there you go.
It was
I was
Onyx.
just like,
Mirko's back.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make your life
Okay.
worse.
Bro, I was literally tunnel vision on still talking about the point, the Julian. Because, yeah, you brought up some good points there. It was up against the Alpha. I think mainly it was the insta-kill button that the Julian brings to the table. Me and Sheffin were discussing yesterday when I was trying to predict all the drafts. I got a lot of it right, and when they picked up the Kalea in the game with Julian, I think that was game 4, right? Up against Onyx, up against TL. I was like, yo, with the Kalea, they need something with an insta-kill.
Yeah.
They don't have an insta-kill right now. And then they picked up Julian, I'm like, oh, that works. That enhanced sight is such a good way to combo together up against, with the Kalea against the Alpha.
Okay, that makes sense. But I don't know. We're going to take a look at the keys to victory here first by the Samsung Galaxy. 836
That's a lot.
5G for Geek. Yeah, those are 4 points, very long points at that. With Loisky do screening on Onyx mid duo. Do you guys agree with that?
Yeah. The Cholosky, even though it's not really the most big hero in the second half of the season for Polosky, I think it's still going to work, especially just trying to contain Sans' movement in the early game and Keyboy's, I guess, synergy with him. So if he can pick those kind of heroes, it would help them by in the long run. But for Onyx, though, here's the victory, by the way, by Samsung Galaxy A36 5G Miracle. Flex pick becomes a choice in the first draft phase.
Yeah.
First draft phase?
That's what they did against Liquid, bro. Loi, Chip, Kaja, Jungle in the first phase. I think it's great to go with your curveballs early or very late. It doesn't work as, like, I think, a mid-series pick. It could if it becomes a really, really close series. But if you're trying to end things early, the early parts of the series is where you really want to show up those curveballs. Make them overthink. As we get into the later stage of the series, they're going to be overloaded with so many picks. What do we ban against Onyx? What do we do against this Kaja, you know? And I think that's what happened to TL. They were so confused that they ended up going, all right, 2 metas back. PTSD, flashbacks.
By the way, Miracle, that's Annabelle on top
BTR
5
jump
player
scare.
Lord secured. That was a little jump scare for me too. Is this a flat number of Lords? Or is it like an average?
No, that's a flat number of
Flat
Lords.
number of Lords?
Yeah.
Is that fair?
In a way, it's not really fair because
They have
you know,
gone through playoffs.
I
Each
guess.
teams,
Yeah, you're right. Oh, you were talking about that?
Yeah.
I was talking about the fact that each team plays differently. Some teams play with only 1 or 2 lords. A lot other teams is playing more of a late game composition. So that's why this kind of stat is, you have to take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah. Because I was also thinking the amount of games that Philippine teams play should be less than indoor.
Oh, actually, it's a bit more.
Ooh.
We've
Is
been
it
seeing,
more?
yeah. In their first 2 days, they went 20 games. They went all best of 5s full.
Oh, because I was thinking about like regular season because of the amount of
teams.
teams that they have in the league.
That's a good point, yes. But I think even then, there were a lot of 2-1s in the Philippines, so it balances it out. And Navi didn't get a single win. So it balances everything
Oh.
out, right? Literally.
Random Navi stray.
I didn't get to see the Force Assassins on Kairi keys to victory because I would have said something about that in the back rooms. No, the Assassins are still the #1 way for Onyx to win games. It's just if everything's banned out in the first phase, then they'll go utilities.
I don't know about that, Miracle. I actually do not agree with that. Just that
Oh.
Radit Overkill said in the back rooms, as Eternal would say, Sansa's movement is much more free when you use that utility, and Lutfi, he's known to play that damage EXP. He's much more comfortable with that, so that's why TL banned the utilities.
No matter what, Onyx have 2 shades to them, right? They can utilize Kairi utility, they can utilize Kairi assassin, and of course everyone else will actually kind of accentuate to that playstyle. So that's what makes them a little bit more scary as we get into the drafts here, presented to by the official tournament smartphone Samsung Galaxy A36 5G. Geek Fam on blue, Side Onyx on red, Hayabusa ban, Luo Yi ban, Fatty Jushin ban
Oh.
is something that we don't see often, and like you just emoted, a Farsa ban in the first phase.
Yeah, no utility bans. You know why? Doesn't matter. It's the Assassins that matter for Onyx.
All right.
Utility bans yesterday by TL was because Fabian is known to be pretty bad on utility junglers. In MDL, he was called a Lord for that meta. Here, though, you see the Haya, Loi, Farsa. It's been so good, but they've left open so many different picks. Kalea, Chip, all up for grabs. I think Onyx gotta take, you know, an L here and ban out the Chip. They cannot let that go up against BBB.
Yeah, especially with the fact that Geek Fam, they're known to let go of the chip because they know this is probably the best team that can counter the chip with the Badang, with a lot of counter picks that they have. We saw Witty played a chip against Geek Fam. We saw a lot of team played the chip against Geek Fam.
Oh, what?
And it does not work. But speaking of something that did not work at all in the playoffs, is the Pyramis getting banned out by Onyx. This is peculiar. Yes, it is a prio pick for a boy back then. But now, like, would you say that's still the case?
I'd really say that, I mean, obviously, prio pick for a boy, but I don't like both Jusin and Theramis. In the
Same.
current meta, I think these 2 heroes are kind of overrated, you know, even against a glue counter, but the chip, definitely something we mentioned, would be first pick, will be picked up by Geek Fam, no hesitation there. Now for Onyx, this should be the Kalea choice for Onyx.
Yep.
If they want to go for the safe route, it should be the Granger, Harith, instantly show up your MM. But assassin-wise, I don't think you want to give away the combo of the Chip Joy to Geek Fam.
Oh, you think it's gonna be Joy?
I think it sets up for it to be a pretty good Joy pick. Unless Onyx want to just let it go and go Fredrin last pick, right? They go for the Kimi and it'll be the boxer.
Wow.
They go for a different route instead of the Kalea, which means Geek Fam technically have a way to now go for the Kalea, even though I'm not too big of a fan now of a Kalea and Chip.
Absolutely not. There's little to no damage that can be dealt. Even if you're focused on full damage for the mid laner and the marksman to kind of like complement the chip, I think it's not really a good combo. You need like a CC, like AoE set for the chip to be able to work better. Now for Geek Fam, Oh man, they need some kind of dive towards the Kimi, but I don't know, man. Against a Baxia, do you really want to go front to back the null play? Like, you want to go dive?
Wow.
I was thinking the Fredrin, but like, I'm not a fan here. I think there's little to no answer for the Baxia and the Kimi.
Yeah, I agree. The Valentina isn't really a good answer up against the Baxia. But I see why they've gone for the Valentina, right? They're taking away those big ultimates from Onyx, and they want to get some ready-to-fight heroes. Valen, Fredrin, really good at just... Oh, it's a 1-1 early from Onyx. Seeing the Fredrin, amazing.
Oh my
Please
lord.
ban the
Here,
Irithyll.
Cole.
Please
Exactly.
ban... Wow! Wait, wow, guys!
Oh my god!
Wait, that's unheard of, ladies and gentlemen. Why would you ban the Irithyll when you pick up 1-1?
Coach Yab, what
Coach
are you
Yab,
doing?
you're... Hey,
I thought you were a good drafter.
Coach Yab, that... I think that's... He wants to win. Oh.
Okay.
Okay, it's getting a little personal here on the panel. But yes, the Irithyll does get banned coming to the second phase. What other heroes should be, you know, the choice to look at here for Geek now?
Oh man, at this point, like I don't mind the Claude, even though I don't really like the way it's set up, because I feel like they need a dive, no matter what. Because the Sparsa is gone, and the mid lane is already a Valentina, and you can't really deal damage with Valentina unless you have a good ultimate. Oh, what's left there? Does Cops want to play a damage EXP, like some kind of a Keto? Even then, it's bad against a Baxia, and Kimi can just go away.
Okay.
Is it because they're setting up for an Edith pick for Gobs?
Oh, I don't like it.
Honestly, they need a bit of range here. The Granger and the Irithyll ban is amazing by Onyx. Again, those two picks are usually what you would go for up against the 1-1 right in lane. If it's the Irithyll, it's a pure counter. The Granger does well because you have some kill pressure early, and then you can just combo it with either a winning mid duo or an assassin that's super fast paced in the jungle that can kill the 1-1. Both of those options have been taken away. Onyx really setting up for the 1-1 pick, and Geek Fam are taking away the combos with the 1-1. Franco ban, Kalea ban, Onyx. I think for Geek Fam, this could be an Arlet for Gops. They want to combo it together with so many CC tools, Valen, Fredrin, and Chips.
Oh my god.
Badang's gonna be the choice for Onyx, another flex still that we don't know of, because Baxia Badang can be flexed. They can still show up with like a Ling last pick, but it's not really looking too good for a Ling. Geek Fam, Arlet and what in the gold lane? They're kind of forced to go like Harith or Moskov. Harith, bad match.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be Moskov.
Moskov is the better choice because technically you have side control.
Even when we present the option for Geek Fam, I feel like there's no like clear answer, like a really good answer for this composition. Like this has been a pretty phenomenal draft from Coach Yep, especially with the flex that you've mentioned it earlier, Mirko. Like even Arlen, I don't like it because there's a Badang now, there's a Baxia that can really deter the Arlen. It's gonna be a Harith and also oh my lord. Ooh. If this goes too late game, like the chance of Geek Fam winning really matters on how this chip is gonna be utilized. That's the only saving grace that I can think of. Because I think, yes, Harith is a late game hero, but is it enough against this kind of composition from Onyx?
I think it is. Like the Harith, when it comes to the late game, will do so much more damage than the 1-1. The Kimi is the problem here.
But how do you get in though?
Oh, you have enough front line, I would say, to open up. The Badang's gonna go in, the Bakshi's gonna go in, but it's gonna be held down by the Glue and the Fredrin. So it really is a composition that plays around the Harith, that wants to enable the Harith. Onyx need a way to deal with that. They don't have the Farsa already. That was why it was banned out by Geek Fam. They literally set up for it. They go for a CC in the end. I'm not too big of a fan of the CC here. You do well against the Glue and the Fred, but against that CC, you might get locked down.
Okay, and with that being said, we're gonna throw it over to our casters. Gani, Realize, take it away.
Fam marches on the domain of the Sky Kings. The Jakarta International Velodrome it bore witness of the Sky Kings engraving their status to immortality when they were able to get that 4-peat. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first match of the second day of the playoffs of MPLID Season 15. It is me, Realize, and Gani.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we will see how the first game will go. Remember, the team that wins this match will have a step closer to EWCMSC, and will have that final upper bracket slot in the playoffs.
That is what they want, and that is what they need. We need to remember, it was Geek Fam that knocked Onyx out of playoffs contention last season at El Dorado Bandung, but now it is in their turf, their neighborhood, their domain. So we shall see. As we take a look at the draft, it was summed up completely by our panelists back there. The fact that they have the 1-1 picked up, I think it's going to be very strong. But against the Harith in lane, it's going to be one hell of a time.
Let's see. It seems like Beloyski forced to use his flicker early there, and that's already a win. And take a look at Sans just chipping away the health bars of a boy. Oh, that's a mistake, Boy with the flicker almost takes a boy down there in the mid lane.
They might have objective prio now because 2 spells burnt. That's the flicker in a boy and Beloyski, the 2 playmakers of Geek Fam. Again, the trio mid, even the duo mid from a boy and Beloyski. They are very strong and operating in the rotational forms of Geek Fam. So take a look at the emblems. Brave Smite for the Valentina. So a boy wants sustain. He wants to be able to skirmish a little longer and have the sustainability. But Keyboy,
that's a taunt, that's a stun. Keyboy is actually the one who will be punished for. Wow, Geek Fam, great recovery.
it's on the wrong neighborhood right there. I think it was trying to scout something again. Keyboy with the Badang is very strong. Sans though, receiving heat, but he's gonna be fine. So as of now, obviously Onyx are trying to operate behind this Baxia in the hands of Kairi, yet to reach level 4, or rather, already level 4. So now, he has that anti-region to play around in the little skirmishes.
Yeah, it seems like both teams now setting things up for that first neutral objective. Economy, still, of course, it's little 2, and no advantage. Nakeds is on the turtle now.
Yep, Kairi still scouting as well. Keyboy, no fist crack just yet. Sans pops a traction pulse.
That's a good immobilization, and that's gonna be a commitment from Onyx. They will take down 1.
Oh, there you go with the Brazers, Wrath, and they were able to take down Keyboy, but now Sans with a double kill. They move on even further.
Uh-oh, things are not looking good here for the side of Geeks. Gobs now chipped away as well. Beloyski though from the flanks.
Oh, Gobs is so low. He's going in, Lutpi.
Oh, I don't think he will survive. Another kill on the board for Onyx. And that will be free turtle for Onyx as well. 1K goal now.
It's a prolonged fight right there. I mean, they were able to just hit it back and forth. And I think one of the best, I'd say, privileges of Onyx draft is the fact that they have so much fighting power. Again, with the Baxia. And the pop as well from Sans, the traction pulse. That is actually a utility ultimate, but let's take a look at the talent prediction for the new application. Go pay. I think it's equal, but more siding towards Onyx with 3 of us, Eterna, me, and you.
Yeah, it's again just Sheffin, right? Wild the predictions, but I love that confidence. And let's see, will that prediction come through or not? 1,500 gold lead, first 3 minutes. That's a lot, realize.
That's pretty much it, right, for Onyx. Again, they have so much prio on the objective takes as well. The fact that this Baxia has so much agency to move around the map, again, follow suit in the fight.
That's a flicker. That's a shortcut, Keyboy. Half HP. Geek Fam now needs to find an opening. Makeits jumping in. Not really find the connection that he wanted. A bottom side is still a pure 1v1. Kenzie versus Savero. And it seems like it's still equal. Savero, very aggressive. That's going to be Savero. Just popping the crossbow attack. Good spacing by Kenzie. That's going to be Onyx there. Just surviving. Still though, they're in the lead.
Oh, Savero was almost able to take down Kenziski. I thought it was going to go for the kill fully, but again, Kenziski was too far to reach that proximity of crossbow tang. But up top, it's only Lutpi and Gobs again, just shuffling it around. And I think so far Onyx is doing a very good job on just scouting the global presence of Geek Fam through that shortcut, because Kairi, so tanky, can roll around, open up the bushes for Onyx, and that enables them to again have prio on the objectives. Now 9 seconds to the turtle this time around. I think the gold laners might join in the fight. I mean, the 1-1 is already level 6, Kenziski as well, level 6. So this might be a long dance for the objective, but Kairi is gonna come and follow up. And Lutpi has the War Axe ready. I don't think it's gonna rotate, but it might just happen.
See, it seems like both teams, right? They're taking it slow here, waiting for more info, waiting for more rotations. Keyboy shows himself there. Oh, that's a miss there from Sansa's ult. Ludpi joins, so that's the green light for Onyx to just commit on towards the turtle. Geek Fam, what do they respond with?
Oh, Kairi gets the turtle, and now it's gonna be Onyx pouncing forward.
Oh, that's Shaman for pops! But Sans caught it red-handed. That's gonna be an immobilization all towards Kairi. That's gonna be Kairi actually soaking a lot of damage. That's gonna be Kairi surviving with the shield unity. Savero, though, is there to provide the damage and find a kill. Beloyski goes down. That's gonna be Onyx finding the equalizer there with Beloyski. And yeah, still Onyx just winning on the fights and the neutral objectives here for the first 5 minutes.
Because they have so much control, right? Again, the current call is somehow a CC, and then you have the Badang as well. Kairi just, again, playing... you basically have kind of like a crash course in the Boxia, right? The chip has it, the Boxia so does too. And the fact that the Boxia can just roam around is indeed very, very good. Plus, the traction pulse, the icing on top, make it!
That's an engage, make it 2v1. 3v2 now, make it very low, still able to sidestep from that threat. And still 2,000 goal lead here. Geek Fam, they are catching stray still.
Yeah, Onyx is throwing hands left and right, and as of now, it's Savero with 1 kill, the 1-1 against the Harith. You would argue that maybe the Harith does have the upper hand. Beloyski flicker crash course.
On towards Sans. Shortcut pops committed. Boy
What?
jumps in. That's very risky. But he's A-OK. Now Onyx looking for the traction falls. Connecting! And that's going to be Beloy. Punished for the 3rd time, ladies and gentlemen. And yeah, 3K established.
There you go, the follow-up is so quick, it's not telegraphed. Because once the traction pulse hits, Kairi can just jump in with the shield unity and catch the players of Geek Fam slow in his ultimate. And now it's up to Onyx to control, again, the tempo of this game. 7 seconds to the turtle. Savero is able to acquire that turret down bottom. As now they convene, as they look for this objective next on the chopping block. They have 2 turtles ready, and this might be a perfect turtle, but Geek Fam, they don't want to let it slip from their hands.
Naked's now contesting under the turtle. That's a stun off on towards the 1 member. The boy goes down. That's a kill for the turtle for now, but now it's going to be Naked stuck isolated, and Onyx will shut him down. And that's going to be 4K already in hand for the yellow porcupines.
They went ham on the players of Geek Fam. And that was Naked's actually stealing the turtle, so at least they have some sort of a reminiscent. Yeah, but Savero might caught in no man's land.
Shortcut, great play by BBB. And that's going to be Savero punished the first time. Now, will there be counterplay as Lupi jumps in with the engage? Good CC. Beloyski very low.
Beloyski is so low, and Keyboy gets a boy. That's a boy versus a boy, and Lutpi gets the kill. Gobs is remaining with Naked.
Uh-oh, they still want beef. Gobs very low. Nowhere to go as Onyx. They are under the turret looking for more kills, but Kensiski finds an important shutdown on towards Lutpi.
Ah, the blue Lenin arrives in time. A heroic entrance, but that's a kill to only Lutpi. They lose 1, but they're able to grab 3 to 4 kills for Onyx. And now it's 10-5, 4K gold lead. That was Savero caught in the wrong side of the tracks. So at least for now, Onyx, it's all about resetting, because look at the wave down bottom. It's going to crash towards them. And they haven't been able to at least establish that priority on just pushing the waves even further to Geek Fam.
Seems like now, tempo gone down. 20 seconds on the clock for the first lure, ladies and gentlemen. And item check.
Yeah, item check right now, or X again for the CC. And look at this guy, Fiercer for Sans, right? He can join the skirmishes. And I want to say Holy Trinity, but that's like Savero with 3 items with the Malefic gun. It makes sense, because he needs extra range, because the players of Geek Fam just want to jump into his face. I mean, Beloyski is there, Make It with the Fredrin, even if he's not that mobile compared to the Boxia. But once you get taunted, I mean, it's going to be hard. Oh, shortcut.
Uh-oh, that's going to be a Lutpi actually taunted everything. Put in the kitchen sink. He goes down. Kairi, though, from the flanks finds Beloy. San secures the kill. That's going to be Geek Fam actually now. Their numbers are low.
Backup is here. The Sky Army arrives in time. San! stands.
Kanziski will not be able to find the clutch play as Sans is there, but he will be punished 4-4-2 for now.
Wipeout was close to fruition, but Gob still stands, lives to tell the tale. He has to be able to hold this Lord, but Onyx, they will try to get it scot-free. Keyboys kicking him in into the pit.
I don't think Gobs is able to. Oh, Beloyski says, yes, they might. With the shortcut pops, Keyboy finds the stun.
Oh, shortcut, pop. Kanziski and the boy falls up to with the action. Gob stuck in no man's land in the back.
Let's see Lutpi trying to buy time, but Gobs will do himself as well. That's going to be Kanziski securing the kill. Onyx, though, with the boy Sans here, you're in control of the Lord, but is this the right call?
Yep, have to hold this. Keyboy, oh! Looks for the fist crack. They have their sights on the Lord. Geek are still meddling with it, though. They have the power to at least fight this, so Onyx knows. They have to reset. They have to take a step back. But I think for now, they're still staying here, so yeah, just trying to also dissuade Geek Fam from taking the Lord.
They know that the bottom lane is favoring their side. That's why they're taking their time here in controlling the Lord. And Geek Fam, they are the ones who need to respond. Either take Lord or clear the bottom side, and that's why they sent in Kanziski. But that shows that, yeah, no Herod, let's fight.
They have to rush this. And Onyx, they might look for something. Lutpi bites the bullet. It's Kairi jumping in, traction pulse.
On towards one, that's gonna be a taunt. That's gonna be Severo tying first in this fight. Great response as Kanziski with the shortcut was able to find the double.
Oh, that's make it. The smiling jungler just being a terror for Onyx. And now they scramble. Make it!
Oh, Bracer's Wrath was not enough, but Kanziski stunned up Purify Pop. Lutpi now, he is isolated. Now with the sidestep, he's able to get out, but Keyboy very low. So that's just 2 for 1 in favor of Geek Fam.
That's a two-man taunt with the Lord Steal as well. Let's make it. Just keeping Geek Fam together again with the taunt.
Oh, good taunt, 2-man. Kanziski's gun under the turret, but Kanziski doesn't care. He wants beef, and he will find a kill on towards Keyboy.
Oh, Onyx. Now they see that obstacle. Now they see that they might be in a cul-de-sac because Geek Fam are fighting back. They're retaliating. And the shortcut pop, they might want to fight this again.
Uh-oh, is this the right call for Onyx? Good Terrify, Lutpi very low. Shaman Force pops, and Sans actually taking a lot of heat. Kairi goes down. This is not looking good. Crossbow attack! Finds one, but Kanziski will not survive as well. Severo now still able to find the damage, but that is a great punishment from Severo.
Severo holding the team together. That crossbow of Tang was so clutch. The rookie from Onyx, and now it's Onyx having that leeway to get out of their base, to control their jungle again, to get control of the river and the map. And so far, I feel like if they really want to create that push down bottom or up top, there's always going to be Beloyski with that Y walk to kind of match the pressure. But again, if that happens, he doesn't have the shortcut pressure as well at the same time. So that's going to be a game of options there for Beloyski to choose whether or not he wants to respond to that push, or does he want to look for a pick again? Because that has been the surprise factor. But hey, MPL IDX streamer by Good Day, it is BZTV.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, and I think the play that they made earlier was the perfect one. Or sent Kanziski down, shortcut to just provide the surprise attack, right? Technically surprise, and they made it work last time round. So now, 13 minutes in, Onyx, they're only up 2K. And I feel like Geek Fam has a lot of ways to neutralize that situation.
And a quick check on the item. Look at Severo with the Athena shield. He knows that Kanziski will just burst him down, so he needs that extra magic resistance. Now for Onyx, 20 kills doesn't really mean anything when we enter the 14-minute mark because it becomes of relevance now, right? Geek Fam, they're able to, once again, bounce the waves, push it out again. And I think another way to look at it is the fact that, like what you said, they can send a carry across the map to control the pressure, to push out the waves. But once the shortcut hits, it's a quick route to entering the fight. A 4v5 or a 1v5 even can become a 5v5 in a blink of an eye. So now, Onyx has to be able to just scout out that potential. It has been happening with Kairi rolling around the bush, looking for flank angles that Beloyski might be able to establish. And now Geek Fam, they have dibs on the Lord.
Let's see, that's a conceal. Cancelled by a boy. Keyboy doesn't really find the opening that he wants with that conceal play. Top lane favoring Geek Fam this time round. I want to see how Onyx will respond to this.
They'll take it slow. Again, Severo is here. Oh, look at Beloyski. This is a flank angle. Big brain Beloy, but Kairi will try to scout it out. No, he's coming from the back!
Oh, looking for the flank angles. Finds a flicker. Oh my goodness, Sans now in threat. Severo, though, will kill Beloyski. That's going to be Kairi, though. Just stuck. Trying to buy time for his team. Is this the right call?
Kairi's just dragged back. The jungler is gone. Make it with the winner crown.
How did he make it? Also falling. Severo versus Kenziski. Rasmo attack will not be enough to take him down. Severo now trying to buy time, but he will be shut down as Sans finds a double.
Lutfi just crawls in the back, and now it's up to Gobs to keep Geek Fam together. Can he hold for dear life?
5 seconds of Aloy. I think they can. Right, Gobs though will again buy time. Winner crown though will be used, and that will be almost an official wipeout there.
I got very hyped for that Beloyski angle because he was down bottom in the bush and he took the Y-walk up top to get to that purple buff, but he was spotted out, and that crash course was just in vain. Shortcut, not follow up as well, and this Lord is free for Onyx to take. Plunder, absolute plunder for Onyx.
Yep, Onyx, they have equalized on the Lord take. They lost the Lord earlier, but this time around, minute number 16, they will take it. So in about 12 seconds, the Lord will be up. And I think they have time to manipulate the waves. All three lanes be in their favor.
Let's take a look at the, base defense from Geek Fam, right? We know that the panel made it clear that Geek Fam were the ones who coined the term geekable. They were able to hold the base against Onyx. But I think in this iteration of the draft, it feels like the wave clear isn't the best. I mean, you have the Z-ski with the Synchro Fission, but I think that's it, right? A boy maybe, but he needs to be very, very on the move. And now the Lord will march into the base of Geek Fam. Can they end this from Onyx?
Onyx will have to just be satisfied with 2 lanes. That's a Son onto his Gobs. Taking a lot of DPS by Son. Still able to flicker out of danger. Lord, half HP.
Lord is relentless. The Crystal exposed as well. But Onyx, they know they have to be calculative on their approaches. They want that inhibitor turret down bottom. This might be yet another siege. Geek Fam, they need to hold.
I think with Kenziski, they will be able to find the defense here. Bottom side, almost Fraction Pulse connects.
Yep. Beloyski was looking for a flank angle, but he went up top. It was so hard for him. Maybe he wanted to cut the waves coming in, right? And just hinder that top side from being pressured even more. As of now, Onyx, they get all the inhibitor turrets. So it's Onyx with the control. 17 minutes coming to 18. Geek Fam. Is it geekable?
Let's see. Kenziski decided to not pop the Shaman Force to defend his inner turret there. That's a conceal. Oh. Looking for Beloyski. Will it connect? That's the question. Good spacing, Beloyski. Oh, aggressive flicker there, but doesn't land. So that's, again, a resource spent.
Yeah, but it's a trade, right? Sans also burned his flicker. And as the Kimmy, you really want to be in a safe spot. You really want to distance yourself from the players of Geek Fam, and I think there's going to be information for Geek Fam to use. Maybe they might look for a pick-off against Sans, but I think that he has way too many, protection at this point, right? Keyboy again, Kairi as well. So I think it's gonna be fine, at least for now, because Onyx is also turning down the tempo. They know this flicker might eat them up from the inside, so they hold it for now. As of now, it's only focusing on, again, balancing that wave push. They're creating a tri-lane push, at least for now, to make Geek Fam clear. But number 2, they're prepping for the Lord. 12 seconds onto its respawn. But I think they're also looking for a potential surprise play. They invade Geek Fam's jungle.
Oh, good. Fraction Ball. Snow flicker on Beloy. Should be punished. Not the crossbow attack. Actually activated. Now, Kairi looking for a flank. Doesn't really find it. So, yeah, just take a kill and they pull back.
Yeah, it's all about just taking down the war crime general. It's BBB. Deleted from the fray. The Sky Kings again, just cementing their dominance in this game. Vacants might look for something. Gobs flickers in.
Aggressive flicker, good Terrify there. Kenziski though is vulnerable! Kenziski will fall, and a boy will fall as well. Again, ladies and gentlemen, Onyx always finds the right button to push, and they find the ultimate wipeout.
The Sky Kings wipes out the players of Geek Fam, and once again they show that they are in the wrong neighborhood. It is Onyx punching the first game, 1-0.
Wow. Onyx, they were early game, they got it in the back, mid-game. Perhaps it might sway towards Geek, but they made sure that in the late, that game was theirs.
Yeah, it looked very shaky, right? Because Beloyski was very creative. He was looking for angles that he could really exploit. But at the same time, again, with Hypoxia, it hinders him to be so free at that regard. And again, with Sans as well, you have safe options to play with the Kimi, right? You have the damage, you have the burst with the Sky Piercer, plus that traction pulse as a utility tool to set up for even greater engages. Because once you do that, Kairi has access to just jump into the backline. And as of now, it's Onyx dictating the course of this game. But Geek Fam, we saw slivers of what they could do, even Make-Its with the Fredrin was able to show that he could play the utility jungler.
Man, oh man. What an opening. I have to say, a convincing win. Sure, it's over 15 minutes, but overall, it was a convincing win from Onyx.
It wasn't, right? I mean, kill-wise, if we take a look at the kill leaderboard, rather the scoreboard, they had half of what Geek Fam were able to have. But I think Geek Fam were able to show retaliation again and again, time and time, that they make things hard for Onyx. But obviously, we want to listen to what the panel has to say. So Eterna, Mirko, and Chefin, time is yours.
We finally get a game longer than 20 minutes. 9 seconds by all account, but it was a lot closer than the matches we saw yesterday. So, guys, break that down for us. Game number 1.
You want to say something first, Mr. Community?
Hey, this is the story, right? I doubted the pattern.
Okay.
I realized that I have my own pattern. If I doubt the pattern, then the pattern becomes true.
So, chachoklogi.
Again,
What does that mean?
A theory.
Eterna?
it's a theory.
Absurd theory.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm happy that we got an actual game in the playoffs right now, because yesterday it was like, stomp, 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 bad draft, bad draft, bad draft. But this time around, I feel like even though I am very much leaning towards Onyx draft, I realized there's some counterplay that Geek Fam was able to do, especially with Beloyski's chip. But still, there's a reason why I'm leaning towards Onyx, because they have these 2 damage dealers that's so really hard to handle, especially in the late game. You have Sans and also Savero. Now you focus your shift your focus towards 2 people instead of 1. For Onyx, they only have to focus on Kaziski. That's it.
Yeah, I think we get to see it again here, right? I mean, the 2 damage dealers were a bit too much for Geek Fam to handle. I agree they had a little bit of an advantage in the draft, but I think Geek Fam came back really well with the draft that they were given. It was just that they overcommitted for the turret up top here. Way too aggressive. And for some reason, there was only 1 Winter Crown. There was only 1 way to counter the 1-1 in the later stage of the game that, again, is usually the way you want to deal with the 1-1. You want to get a lot more Winter Crowns.
Yeah.
Who else had the Winter Crown?
It's Gobs and also
Make-Its?
Make-Its. Beloyski did not build it, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, because he's the guy...
You know, the spearhead, right?
Exactly. He's the guy who's going to be in and then probably dead first in most of the team fights. And that's what we did see. Shout out to Sans. This guy was phenomenal in the game on the Kimi. All you need to do technically is scale up, and then once you get into a comfortable spot,
Tap gaming
from behind. Just play from behind your frontliners. He did something extra. He went forward, he flickered forward. I thought it was troll. He did well.
Player of the game presented to you by the official tournament smartphone Samsung Galaxy A36 5G, by the way. It looks like Chefin has something to add.
I don't think so. This guy is just...
The monster.
Man. Like, when you're an Onyx fan, you'd be happy to see this, but when you're on the receiving end of it, it's not so fun. You know, it's not so Sans.
This is the play I'm talking about. I was like, yo,
like, what the hell?
This is not it, Sans. I was like, oh, this is kind of troll. and then he decides, no, it's not Miracle. This is how Gila I am. Again, though, this composition for Geek Fam, we gotta talk about it a bit more, right? Unfortunately, it didn't work out in the end, but I see what the vision was. The vision was with the Valentina, the Fredrin, the Glue, and also the Chip to overload your opponents with CC, to lock your opponents inside of the winning condition of Geek Fam, which is the Saman Force in the later stage of the game. With the Holy Crystal, with the Divine Glaive, it doesn't matter who takes the damage, even the Baksha is going to be melted down. This is why the Harith is of crazy priority, and they try to play Mr. President with him. Unfortunately, some of these fights, Beloyski tried to go with a crazy flank again, trying to go for Sans. And I think the biggest mistake for Geek Fam was, number one, losing out in the early game that bad. Like, they should have, by all means, given away a few neutral objectives to trade with the Chip. Go in the bottom lane, play for your strong side, play for your main carry, which is the Harith. But they decided to contest a lot of the neutral objectives that got them in a position where they were down 4,000 gold. Then they recovered, but then they overcommitted, they overheated, pushed in way too far up top. They got punished by Severo, and then all momentum was lost there. They tried to go for a couple of Hail Mary shortcuts, and it didn't work. It ended up with them losing all 3 base turrets, and then at that point, it was kind of like a seal the deal type of objective to take.
By the way, on that point, right, protect Mr. President for Kenziski at the later stage of the game. We actually heard a little bit of a gasp from Sheffin when he saw that final item come in for Kenziski.
I wouldn't say a guess, but I see where the vision is, because like he's the only real damage dealer that Geek Fam has. So like it or not, you're gonna be the one that's gonna have the most burden to carry your team. And I actually kind of like that Wishing Lantern plus the Blood Wings combo. No Winter Crown at all for Kenziski, but I was actually kind of like befuffled. What's the word? Kerfuffled?
What is that?
I don't know.
Gobsmacked, maybe?
Yeah, I guess.
Oh, okay, we have 2 Gobsmacks, guys.
Gob got smacked.
Beloski, I saw the KDA from Beloski. Yeah, that's normal. 088. Hey. Beloski, but boy, 079.
But what do you guys think about that build? Was it too greedy, maybe going
Harith?
in full damage? Yes, the Harith?
I think for sure. I think it should have just been a normal build, you know, concentrated energy, sell the boost for Oracle. You would have more ways to deal with Sans. And yes, I understand there's a Baksha there, so the healing will be cut down, but you need that. We saw a couple of times, if he was able to get just a bit more HP, I think in the team fights, he would be able to win. Like, I'm talking about the Sans chase up top, right? Just a little bit more HP, he would have been able to outplay there. I'm talking about the final fight for the Evolve Lord in that mid bush as well. If he had a bit more sustain, it could have changed things. Over the Blood Wings, that I think in this game, yes, you get additional shielding, and when it pops, you get movement speed. It doesn't really matter though. There's so many more like ways to slow you down, lock you down. Weakness Finder again from 112, right? I like the concentrated energy and the Oracle. I think he experimented too much with the itemization. That's my opinion.
I gotta say, in my opinion too, like the Blood Wings, I think it would have been better if we goes for something like a Genius one. Yes, that sounds insane, right?
Yeah.
But the only magic damage dealer that the damage dealer that they have is Valentina and also Harith.
Yeah.
So maybe that's gonna help just you know, to kind of chunk the HP a bit from the frontliners of Onyx. And by the way, the frontliners of Onyx, shout out to them, Kairi, Lupi, and also Keyboy did their part.
Yeah, we didn't mention them that much.
Yeah, the CC was way better than I thought. I'm a CC hater, and shout out.
Who's your best XP? Like, who's the best XP hero right now for you?
Right now?
You don't like CC. What do you like in XP?
I mean, the one that there's no one that's picked in the first 2 phase, right? Or maybe like a Badang, but that's more like a flex, right? Maybe like a Badang or Glue, I guess.
What about the Phoveus? Has the Phoveus fallen out of the meta?
No, absolutely not.
I think it really depends on the picks, though. I don't think you... Sometimes it's okay to go for the Phoveus if you really have just an early game composition, right? If you just want to win out the first few turtles, Phoveus gives you immense value in the team fights early on. Just because I think when it comes to level 4 power spikes, that guy has the best level 4 power spike.
There you go. There you go. A little bit more information about the EXP lane. But, so back at this again. You guys were quite opinionated about the drafts. Is that something that Geek should repair or adapt to coming into game number 2?
Adapt, yes, but again...
Were there like really glaring problems in the drafts, in your opinion?
For me, yes, but not for Miracle, apparently. Because I just do not like the fact that they put all this eggs into one basket in Kanziski. Meanwhile, for Onyx, they have two heroes that literally they cannot deal with unless Pelosi gets a good set, which is kind of rare. And you kind of factor the fact that the 1-1 has the build and Purify. Sans is just Sans. He knows when to flicker. He doesn't need Purify. He's like pretty much Kairi in the mid lane. You know? It's hard.
It is. It's
Yeah.
very, very hard.
Yeah, but you know, of course, on that note, right, all these adjustments need to be made not just for this coming playoff, but also MSC. Because if you guys take a look at the poster right now, we're looking at veterans in their own rights already making their way into MSC, getting that slot versus potentially the young guns, right? We're looking at Arfi, Severo, potentially Toy, and even Kenziski.
You know what this reminds me of? Do you know the meme, hydrogen bomb versus a coughing baby?
No.
No.
I'm not aware.
Like, I'm sorry. Maybe I'm just trying to channel my inner doubter pattern here. If I
It's
top
okay.
the Indonesian gold laner, maybe they'll be better than the PH gold laners. But holy moly, look at that lineup.
Yeah.
And the guy in the bottom, like he was the, you know, whatchamacallit? He got kicked out of MPL PH.
Yeah.
And somehow turned out better.
He was a reject, I would say, right in MPL Philippines. He failed in MPL Philippines, and then in SRG, he became a monster.
MSC.
It just goes to show you how much potential players that fail have. That you need to give them a second chance sometimes, and it was very, very visible. Not just in Innocent, but in King Kong, in that TNC lineup. Everybody got their second chance. Everybody started to pop off, and yeah, I think right now this is a very
Too
like,
early?
It's way too early to really like compare Arfi, Severo, Toy, and Kenzie to these legends of the game. They're really good. Sometimes, I mean, Eman's the closest one, I would say, to them, and he's another Filipino goalie.
Yeah, a lot of familiar faces that we've seen over the years. And speaking of familiar faces over the years, these are the forgotten heroes from the MSC Grand Finals that we notoriously know of, right? Of course, last year, Riyadh, Roger, the only thing that I think is still, you know, etched in everyone's minds. We have the Esmeralda as well as the Thamus. Now, at this point, we've seen a few of these heroes getting picked up, Esmeralda and Roger in particular. Do you guys still think that they are relevant in this current meta?
Which one?
No.
These three heroes?
Relevant? No. Even
It's-
Esmeralda.
Esmeralda is much more conditional, but if the condition is met, he is crazy.
Exactly.
He is crazy.
So
Like
not-
we saw Dyron in the one of the games of the regular season. He was topping both damage taken and damage dealt, which is insane.
Yeah. But definitely not relevant. Conditional for the Esmeralda, Thamas, Roger, Esmeralda. I think they're kind of irrelevant, and I feel like it's just the meta, dude. I mean, Moonson has nerfed a lot of these heroes. Notoriously, they nerfed Roger last season when technically GeekFam only worked with the Roger. That was unfortunate. Like, they banned all of Vincent. They nerfed all of Vincent's heroes last season.
Oh man.
Feels bad, feels bad.
Hey, but we want to get to Onyx with that.
Yeah.
Feels good.
You want to get a trophy for that?
Oh, give him the beat the Onyx trophy.
Give me the Don't Ban Irithel trophy.
Beat Onyx Dior.
Give me the Beat Geek last season Dior.
Beat Kick last season.
We're
Oh
gonna let
yeah,
this
you're right.
Continue for a bit
What happens
until
now
they're
though?
finished.
We're done.
You're done? What about the meta this MSC? If you had to make a
Uh-oh.
prediction of the face of MSC this year, who would it be?
Face. If
Oh, man.
everything still stays the same, probably Fredrin Baksha.
Same. Like, I feel like it's a reminiscence of what happened throughout the patches that Moonton made. We saw like the emblems are getting shaken. Oh, the tank jungle is not going to be relevant. Guess what? They're back again. Now we're starting to realize apparently tank jungle is still the way to go in this playoff. So like, oh my goodness.
'Cause
Do you
sometimes-
like the tank jungles?
I mean, the classics sometimes are the best choice, right? You stick with something for so long and you realize, hey, why didn't we use this all along? You know, that's kind of similar to the Samsung Galaxy A Series 5G, right? It's been here since season, I don't know. It's been here since before I came.
Not this version. Not this version.
Different versions, but
But it's been, yeah.
it's still Samsung.
It's so good.
It's
man.
still Samsung. Tell them why.
For me, it's all about leveling up your content with the Galaxy A365G's 50 MP OIS camera. And with awesome intelligence, My Filter, create custom filters just how you like. Need in-game tips? Use Circle to search. Just circle items to instantly find information. And I think all you need to do is head over to Samsung.com/ID or your nearest Samsung store to grab the Galaxy A365G, starting at just 5 million IDR. Get awesome bonuses worth over 1.5 million, including a free memory upgrade and a travel adapter.
But by the way, I want to say to Samsung, if you need someone that can feed you the information of MPL, call me, because when I tried the AI and I asked like which team is gonna win the MPL season 15, Geekfam was not there.
Really?
So
Currently-
they need some fixing.
Currently, you need some fixing.
Why?
They're 1-0 up. Currently, the AI is one up in you.
I don't think I need. I'm the one that needs to be fixed. I'm not playing, bro.
No, but like
Your prediction.
Oh,
Yeah.
He has a pattern of like,
quality of
Whoa.
man, you know.
But anyway, yes, guys, that's in the business. And if you guys want to sit over up front in the Galaxy Zone, you guys need to pick up one of these bad boys yourselves, you know, straight right. Can you imagine the pro players literally playing in front of you? I can't. We're all the way back here.
what do you? You're right.
What's the?
That's why I've always, you know, like.
Oh,
Galaxy
Galaxy
Zone.
Zone. Okay,
Man.
I'm a bit slow.
That's
sorry.
why caster over panel, right? No, actually today
I
panel
guess
is better.
you guys
but
are closer technically by like a few meters.
That's enough.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Just
I can
a-
sniff them.
Caster gang. Even though I'm on panel today, caster gang. Shout outs to, actually never mind. The casters today are Onyx fans, both of them. So
Hey, by the way, I hear that last tidbits of that cast. By the way, get this
What?
casters out of here.
what,
Bro.
do- what,
I
do
heard
they, what
that
do they
too.
say? What do they say?
Oh my god.
What do they say?
Like
Dude.
something like in the wrong neighborhood, bro.
Wrong
Oh my god.
neighborhood. This is what Onyx always is able to
Wow.
I
do. Blah,
thought
blah,
casters
blah.
must be biased.
Hey.
About me.
Hey, listen. I'm not even biased to BTR, you know?
Oh, do you want to switch teams?
No.
We're still
no.
accepting.
They might have not won a single MPL in 15 seasons. They might have never gone to an M series. But when you pick a team, you stay loyal, brother.
Oh, Gonic
BTR.
knows a thing or two for that.
Oh, he knows a thing or 15 years of
But
sticking to a team
yeah.
that just doesn't win.
I respect that a bit more than realizes shameless glory hunting. He's a Madrid fan and an Onyx fan. Can you believe that?
That's like,
How could you be much less normie than that? Or much more? Like what's? Wait.
much more.
Yeah, much more normie than that. He's the normies of the normie.
I agree.
Number one normie. But man, look at the stage.
It's sick, man. I like it.
I like it at night more.
Oh, yeah, for real.
I like the Edith stuff that they did in the opening one.
He really
Oh, that was
likes
Edith,
Edith.
right? With the skin.
Like,
I was like, who is this?
oh, what?
I didn't realize.
What?
That was really cool though. I agree. What's not cool for Sheffin is game number one though. But obviously we did chat a little bit about the drafts. I think we got Sheffin's take earlier on. But what did you think, Mirko?
I think again the composition had its win conditions, and I think it was proper too. It wasn't really horrible. They should have really played more for the trades in the early game if they lost control of it. I think this hard targeting as well in the early game was a bit sussy from Geek Fam. With this kind of composition, what you want to do is you want to break the front line of the enemy team, right? Because you're playing without the Harith. Mid to late, that's when the Harith really starts joining in the team fights, and that's where you can try to play more front to back and play to enable the Harith. In the early game, they were letting CC, they were letting Kimmy, both Sans and Lukpi do a bit too much to them without punishing. They were targeting Kairi, they were targeting Keyboy for some reason, and I think it might be the jitters. Again, Make Kids, Kenzie, they're both rookies. We have seen this as well just yesterday. Arfi, it does seem like they get better as the series goes on, right? So for Geek Fam, they're also a team notorious for not really changing that much in the drafts. They like to stick to what they think works. And I honestly think, despite, yes, having less damage dealers, having only one source of damage, magic damage, that being in game number one, it's still fine. Harith, the reason I really like the Harith is because it doesn't matter if you go for a full magic damage composition when you have a Harith. Once you get the Divine Glaive, you bypass everything. Radiant Armor, Athena Shield, it's no problem. Even with the Oracle, you get through it all. It's such a ridiculous hero in this meta, and that's why we call it the modern day Natan. Get those items, start carrying. Team fights are very hard to lose if you play for the Harith, and that's why the composition was literally, all right, let's capitalize on this broken pick.
It's always been the plan A for Geek Fam ever since the regular season starts. It's either the Moskov split push or Harith carry. That's the only two things that Geek Fam did in the first half of the season at least. But second half, they start to expand a bit more in the
look at
draft.
that guy.
Who's that?
That's Kyo.
Yo, Joshua.
You, Joshua, up in the festival, ladies and gentlemen. So if you guys you know, unfortunately, maybe the tickets are sold out or whatever, you guys actually can still watch outside at the festival.
For free.
For free, exactly. So many activities that you guys can actually do. A lot of free stuff given away. There's merch booths. There's other kinds of booths. It's super fun.
Can I vent a bit?
Sure. Sure.
I was so excited about Jakarta International Velodrome because I got to play some hoops
Ah.
last year. But apparently, I came to the basketball court and the hoops weren't there.
Where are they?
Oh my lord.
I don't know, bro.
And
No hoops?
Yeah.
That's awful.
I don't care. I'm sorry.
I
understand.
was trying to be nice. I was trying to be nice.
That's why we got Devil's Advocate.
Okay.
Yeah, we gotta
Good
have
cop, bad cop.
good cop, bad cop.
Okay.
Don't worry, I'm a Geek fan too, though, Chefin. So
Yep.
that we share.
Thank you.
Okay. But it looks like the drafts are ready, boys and girls. Ladies and gentlemen, here live in, once again, Jakarta International Velodrome. We're going to get to game number 2.
See?
Presented to you by the official tournament smartphone Samsung Galaxy A36 5G. Let's just get straight into it.
They're not the type of team to change.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm telling you,
Hey,
this is Geek Fam.
this is Chip again, probably, right?
Wait. Yes, unless they want to try to go for the Kalea and try to call out the fact that Onyx are just not that good with Chip alone. But
They went for Chip again.
they gotta go Chip again.
I don't think
wonder.
what will change.
I wonder what Onyx is gonna do. Coach that's notorious as well for using the picks that they have won with. Baksha, probably. And Kimmy. Oh, man.
Oh,
You guys are
man.
really smart.
Hey, thank you.
You got 100 IQ return on.
Oh, man. Now, I agree with you with the hoops. Now we go hooping.
We're a bunch of sharpshooter.
Oh, my lord. Back-to-back. Sharp shooting.
Oh, man.
Sharp shooting the hoops.
Sharp student. It's fine. It's fine. So, Fredrin Valen again? Did you agree with the Valen pick?
That they can change. I think the Valentina is the only pick
Yeah.
in that composition that I feel like, all right, they could be a better choice maybe, but what is the better choice, right? The Farce has been banned out. That would usually be my answer when you're up against a Kimmy and later on a Wanwan.
I would play like a pure front to back. Never
They
mind.
don't care, no.
I was gonna say like how about like a bit more front to back approach, picking something like a Yeep and try to kite, but it doesn't really go well with the Chip. It's the thing that I realized. Bless you.
Thank you.
And now I really wonder. This is gonna be a hard pick for Coach Yep. Oh man, I'm weighing on the options.
I
here.
just hope that they pull the, I really hope Yeb gets smarter, you know? Maybe pick up the Wanwan, but don't ban the Irithel.
Okay, on a serious note, like I've
Wow.
seen this in the regular season, right? Both Blovsy and I think back then it was Adi, right? They're so like the 3 draft that's almost the same.
Yeah.
Whoa, it changed. Okay.
Ah, they pick up the Badang and not the Wanwan. All right, yeah, the Wanwan is honestly changeable, I guess, in the composition. It wasn't the crucial. It's actually crucial, so
Yeah. I mean, it's the best option to pick when you're up against a Chip and also
Yeah.
Fredrin.
I guess
I don't really understand the change, especially with Valentina. It's not really that much of a threat towards a 1-1. Even Savero built Athena, by the way. I hate him for that.
in a way, I like the Badang more here over the Wanwan. Why? Because the Badang is a way for them to still have a way to deal with the Fredrin, Valentina, and the Chip when they go for the portals, right? You need big AoE, you need big setting compositions when you want to beat up this kind of Chip comp in general. And if you look at the bans, Onyx are setting up for a Harith pick. They're trying to deny the enable, like the Geek Fam enable Harith composition already. They ban out the Moskov. If they ban out, well, I think now, do they ban out the 1-1 then? If they want to go Harith.
Sure. I'm not sure. This is gonna be a tough one for the gold laners. So, like, yeah, they have the option to just ban out the Harith or pick the Harith from themselves. But
I think pick.
the main problem still stands with only magic damage dealers. It is a problem, but once again, you've reminded me a lot of times, Miracle, throughout the regular season that it's Harith, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, even the Joy, by the way, that's why Geek Fam banned it, right? You look at this composition, you'd be like, there's no way it's going to be Joy. They already have magic damage, and they're setting up for what looks to be a Harith.
Wait.
But even Joy bypasses that. Ah, now that is strange in my opinion. But this means that... Huh, are they possibly going for a Kalea Beatrix? Or a Kalea Granger?
Franco's
Oh, wait,
still
right?
there too.
Yeah,
But against a Chip,
it was banned out earlier. Kalea and Franco in game 1.
It was.
I mean, you can go Bea and also a Tick if you're feeling a bit frisky.
Oh, I don't know about that. I think,
against Valentina.
Oh yeah, you're right.
yeah, I don't think you want to give those big ultimates, but that kind of goes with the same Kalea theory, right? You really want to give Kalea over to the Valentina, Tsunami Slam over? Maybe.
My tail's been itching
Yeah,
for
okay,
a
okay.
real
We get it out of the way. Kalea gets banned out here. Onyx.
Is there a world where
I really think Onyx should just pick blue. And then they set up for a Granger later on. Oh, but they go... They're
Oh my
trying
God.
to force Geek Fam to go 1-1 or Granger, and both of them actually do get countered by the Irithel.
God.
That's a pretty good move, Onyx.
Yeah,
I like
in
it.
a way, Irithel is kind of the same as 1-1, right? It moves while it deals damage.
It's the better 1-1.
Yeah. You don't have the second skill Purify though, but you can still pick the Purify against this much CC that's gonna come in from Geek Fam.
Wow,
Again,
that's a good
I think the first 4 picks throughout these 2 games, I'm leaning towards Kochia by a mile.
Oh my
But
lord. Is this the last pick, Angela?
For Kochia,
Yeah.
that's...
They ban out Faramis too. That may be the reason
How do you
why.
counter that?
But they go for the X-Borg and the call.
Yeah,
Oh,
I was gonna say, is there a world where the Fredrin is gonna be flexed? But this is not really, you know, 100%
man.
of Fredrin EXP, by the way. The export can still go to the XP if they
Oh.
wanna do that.
okay, so that takes away the Angela, yeah? Because, like, there's no way. I forgot the Kimi's already picked up. You want to go Angela mid, I think, over Rome.
No, I think it's still.
You want to go
possible.
Angela Rome for Keyboy?
Angela Rome, but you have to really stick with Kairi in the early game. In the late game, you can just go back and let Kairi open the bushes.
You know what?
And that's usually not a good sign.
I think they go Paquito or something. Up against the X-Borg, isn't Paquito like a Smackaroony?
Early game, yes.
Yeah, smack him in the early game, win with the composition early game, get the Irithel up in there, Kimi snowballs again. It is looking like a damage dealing. Oh, CC,
Same
a
idea.
damage dealing XP.
Oh.
How CC beats
Yeah,
X-Borg
yeah.
too, right?
I actually haven't tried it out, but I think it's more of a skill matchup than you think.
Okay.
I don't think there's a massive advantage
G.
in one of them.
Remnants of a similar shade, but there have been adjustments. Ladies and gentlemen, from the drafts from game number 1, we're gonna see exactly how this all unravels as we throw it over to Sheffin, Sheffin, Realize,
Hello.
as well as Gani. Take it away.
Thank you, panelists. And yeah, I am Cheffin. I have always been Cheffin. I'm not Realize.
We're both chefing.
We are
at this
both
point.
Cheffin.
Right?
Cheffney and Chef Lies.
There
Yeah.
you go.
If that goes, if that works. But what will work? Will it be Geeks draft or Onyx draft? Because now Onyx has the upper hand in game number 1. Game number 2, in Land of Dawn we go. It is still Geek Fam against Onyx.
Remember, ladies and gentlemen, Onyx, if they secure a game here, they will secure match point and will be a step closer to securing MSC.
And here we go, right? Onyx, obviously, with that pick. It was almost reminiscent of game number 1. The pick order, they went Kimibaxia, white!
It's similar, right? But this time they are able to punish both of the mid and roams. Great adjustments from Onyx.
What happened there? You blink and you miss it, Onyx, pick up 2 kills. And those are towards Sans and Keyboy. Beloyski might be in trouble again.
Still has a flicker though. Let's see, that's a great isolation, but no real follow-up. Kairi already invading the jungles, so that's still a win for Onyx.
Look at Keyboy. He's a very brave warrior. Just going at Beloyski and Kinziski, right? Again, so much pressure with the Badang and the Baxia. Plus this time, they pick up the CC to face off against the X-Borg. So take a look at the emblems presented to you by Indie Home, by Telkomsel. Obviously, with the QC on the Badang, I think it wants to be closer to its target. The Earthal as well, really benefits from the QC. Now Shield Unity and Beloyski again next, and he will flicker.
Yeah, forced to use the flicker, and that's already a spell burnt before the first turtle fight. And let's see here, Kairi level 4, Mika is also level 4, but EXP, I'm sure Kairi has an edge. Bottom side, both teams rotating towards the EXP, the fight for the first neutral objective.
Picked up a important point there from Cheffin back in stage. Hold on a minute, Severo.
Oh, there is a slight miscommunication there perhaps, but Severo very low, but he is still in the Land of Dawn.
Yeah. I mean, they stated that this Fredrin could have been flexed, but the X-Borg is no way going to really be flexed, right? They picked this up safely for Geek Fam to play. Traction pulse by Sans again, just biting off a boy. And Onyx just exerting the pressure time and time again. Beloyski and Kanziski, no less, not given the freedom to just farm up a bunch. Makits goes for the taunt.
That's a vengeance. Kairi looking for a stun on towards Makits. The damage now will come through. Kairi secures a kill. Beloyski stuck, isolated.
In the rocks he goes and he evaporates as Onyx pick up 2 more. It's a double and double. Kanziski blazing duet.
On towards Severo, giving pressure, but also for the farm.
Oh.
Almost there. That hit almost punishes Kenziski. Great recovery though. That's going to be both marksmen just recalling.
They were looking for the punish, right?
Oh.
And that was a good point as well by Mirko in the panel. The Aerithal is a much better version of the 1-1. It has the movement speed and maybe bar the Purify in the 1-1, right? But I think the Aerithal just is so much burstier in the early game with the heavy crossbow. You have you have a lot of mobility to work with, especially when Geek Fam want to come running at you. The heavy crossbow will save the Aerithal. They were forcing Geek Fam to play an unfavorable matchup against the Aerithal, either the 1-1 or the Granger, right?
Yeah.
That's why, at the end of the day, they picked up the Claude, which I think early on can be heavily punished because I think it needs 2 or 3 items to be online.
Yeah, 3.
But Beloyski,
Oh, they're trying to gang Ludpi. Vengeance terrified everything on the board.
Whoa!
But that's a response by Onyx.
the backup is here. Last Insanity will not take down Lutpi, but Gobbs will keep on running.
That's gonna be 1 for 1. And under the turret, that will be a double.
Whoa!
Oh, Severo. Kenziski going at it. 1 HP for Severo.
Oof.
Kenziski wins the trade. Beloyski will secure the extra 200 gold there. Onyx, they need to slow down their tempo.
You can run, but you can't hide. And Kanziski just defying the odds. We talked about the Aerithal being able to bully the Claude out of its misery up top, right? And we talked about Kanziski being one of the weaker laners compared to Severo. In the team fights, there he pops up, right? And with the Claude, I think he will be able to even exert more pressure because the Claude, as a team fighting hero, is one of the best you can have. The Blazing Duet is set up for him. But Traction Pulse.
Uh-oh, it was almost an opening there. Purple buff stolen, level 9 Kairi, level 7 Maykids. That's not a good sign here for Geek Fam.
Item check, Molten Core still held on by Kairi. The Blade Armor, so he wants that damage reflection, right? And the Aerithal has completed its past claws. I think, you know, the Aerithal also wants sustainability in the lane and in team fights because you have that lifesteal. But for Geek Fam, it's all about just speeding up that item for the Claude. Corrosion Sight ready, so at least for now, he's able to jump in towards, you know, little skirmishes. Plus, he has the shortcut, Traction Pulse. Beloyski.
Great info there. Beloyski thought that he was safe, but no, great punishment as well. That's Onyx just moving up more towards the mid lane. That's a flank by Keyboy. Force a boy to use that flicker. Makekids wasn't able to save him. That's going to be mid turret taken down as well.
The boy had to run back there, but he can run from the punches. Keyboy yet again. And Sky Piercer completed for Sans. Kanziski, can you run from Kairi?
Should have the BMI. Waiting for the right time, but no, there you go. Perhaps that might be enough to make him get away. That's gonna be Lutfi actually finding the kill. Sans will be the trade. That's a shutdown. And Geek Fam, actually this time, they're in favor.
Looking for the fist crack, Beloyski so low and he's gone. But Geek are back on the pounce.
Last Insanity will secure that kill. Lutfi, turned by time Kairi, will also provide the damage there. 3v2, Princess Wrath will find a kill on towards a boy. Onyx, they are down in numbers, but they will and should win this one.
Lutfi still dancing with his yo-yos, so low.
That's the shutdown. That's gonna be Geek Fam able to find the right spacing and punish Onyx. Gold lead, still very small.
That fight was so long. I mean, it was the moment where Sans died, and the fight continued even after he respawned from the base into the lane. So as of now, it's all about Onyx focusing on the turtle, and I think Geek Fam was able to at least held on to the pressure that Onyx was able to bring.
Seems like tempo will go down. Remember though, neutral objective is up. Let's take a look at the levels. Actually, Naked's he has equalized level-wise.
Yeah, Turtle now. Gonna be taken down by Onyx, and that's free. Real estate for them. And up top, it's Beloyski. You know, thinking about the recall, but if Onyx walk into this, there might be a shortcut flank angle. And Beloyski's thinking about it. Severo might get caught in the clutches, but Onyx, at least they have 3 members to back Severo up. And Sans will check it. Beloyski gets found. Shortcut!
What a read by Sans! That's gonna be Kairi already body blocking, taunted. That's gonna be He-Boy also in the mix. Gobs now targeted. No Viraga armor, and Makids will be stuck. He goes down.
Make it's no longer smiling. It's Onyx back. They turn. Geek Fam trembling in fear.
That's gonna be Onyx again! Finding the right openings, and that will be 4 members of Geek taken down.
Triple kill for Sans. 717. Call him when you need him. It's Sans. Again with the Kimmy with so much impact. He was picked off in that earlier skirmish in the Turtle Pit, but now he's back. The Sky Piercer stacks will also accrue for him. Take a look at the replay here, presented by the official from a smartphone, Samsung Galaxy A36 5G. It was initially that flank angle from Beloyski. He was chancing it. He was thinking of recalling, but he's stuck there. And at the end of the day, it was Onyx also able to hitchhike a ride into this fight. And they pushed up top, they won the fight, they had the bigger numbers, they had the better items as well. They are more powerful at the stage of the game with the Kimmy as well, completing 3 items. Severo on cue towards the third. I think he's gonna go for that GDS, possibly, to add that crit damage. But as of now, it's Onyx dictating the tempo. They have 3.4k gold lead in their pockets.
Yeah, now it's very similar to game 1, right, where they have a comfortable lead going to the mid-game. And let's see here what Geek Fam will do this time. Will it be a similar outcome from game 1 or perhaps a different one?
Well, I mean, this is deja vu of game number 1, right? Geek Fam, they were behind such a marginal kill lead. Onyx 16-5 now, split by 11. So Onyx, it's their time to shine now. Make it stuck in a rock and a hard place. Lutpi might be the one to bite the bullet. The Lord is reset, not yet, just juggled.
Uh-oh, that's gonna be Makids. No jungler for Geek Fam. That's Insanity will find Sans, but Gob's gonna be traded back. That's gonna be He-Boy Torina also just showing up in the front lines. 2 for 1, no Sans, but let's see here. Onyx should focus on the Lord.
They're still wanting to go at the players of Geek Fam. Lutpi, look at the damage. The CC is so obnoxious to deal with. So much damage constantly as well. The DPS from the CC will be problematic. Beloyski looking for the flank. Kanziski up top.
Oh, that's gonna be shortcut. Lord though will be secured by Kai.
No.
That's gonna be Kanziski taken down with the vengeance by Lutpi, and that is still a favorable trade for Onyx.
Wow. I think it'll be, I don't know. I want to hypothesize that maybe it would have been better for Kanziski to stick and push that lane up top, because then, even if they lost that trade, they got a turret maybe, and even possibly 2. Because Onyx, they were full focused on just providing backup for that skirmish that happened, the Beloyski crash course. And Kanziski, he chose to join the fight. Maybe if he would, pushing that would have sounded better, it would have looked better. Concentrated energy for Sans, adding insult to injury. As Onyx, they build up this wave, the tri-push coming in. The Lord up top, they secure the 2nd tier turret. It's up to Geek Fam again, back to basics, back to having to prove that they can geek their way out of this. The Lord might just barge in, but I think for now they have the capabilities to stop the push.
With the Holy Shield as well, right? I think it will help Geek.
Yeah.
As long as they are just tight in formation. Kairi looking for an opening, just teasing. Mid lane, Holy Shield triggered. And that's gonna be Onyx now, continuing on the C top lane.
The Holy Defense helps. That's Insanity from Gobs to only clear the way. Beloyski!
Oh, looking for the flank! That's gonna be a 3-man stun, so very low. Still able to sprint away. That's gonna be Lutpi now, taking damage. He-Boy comes in! Finds an angle on towards the boy, and he will fall. Beloyski flickers out of danger there. And Onyx, they will continue on.
They keep the pressure going. The stoves are on. Geek Fam on the precipice of losing game number 2.
Let's see, mid base turret down and out. Top lane will be next. Geek Fam, they are 4 men defending this one, waiting for a boy 10 seconds. Bottom side should be taken down as well.
Boy goes in. No, fist crack, and he dies. Onyx, they have to run for the hills now, it seems like.
It's 5v4 technically. Now Severa very low. Gobs flickers out. Ludwig showing up for Beloy. My goodness, Kai trying to buy time perhaps, but perhaps that might be a slight mistake there. Ooh. And as he goes down, Geek Fam, great defense, though they lose all 3 turrets.
Kenziski is starting to hurt for Onyx. But again, take a look at the scoreline. 22-9. This is, again, a test of might for Geek Fam. Whether or not they have the hold, whether or not they have the capabilities to, again, turn the game around. We have seen them be able to do that time and time again. But as of now, it's Onyx having full control of this game. They grasp it with 5 fingertips, both hands. The Lord spawning. This time they have Prio. And look at Kenziski down bottom, right? He's just gonna clear the way, push it further, even. Beloyski again, that flank angle has always been his bread and butter. Onyx, do they realize Beloyski is there?
Yeah, he shows though, so that's Onyx now looking for an engage. Good stun, make it stun, isolated, no cover! No jungler again for Geek Fam. Onyx now, they can pull back, but what's the call here? Seems like they will focus down the Lord.
The Lord again is their toy. This is all theirs for the taking, and even the lanes are pushing in their favor. So as of now, it's Onyx still relentless. Winner Crown purchased for Ludwig to have that survivability as well. If push comes to shove, he gets stuck in a last insanity, that Winner Crown will come and clutch. So Geek Fam, what are their win conditions right now, right? Maybe the only thing I can think of is looking for a good setup for Kenziski to explode. Because this Claude is starting to hurt. I've said that multiple times. And if they can set up a way for the Claude to enter the team fights, to jump into the backline, at least catch Sans lacking, then I think they could have a chance to turn the tide around. But as of now, it's Onyx full focusing again on the base. The Lord marching in.
This might be enough for game 2. Let's see though the defense now. Lord will be hold there, but that's the top lane minion actually coming down. Beloyski now from the flanks, great cancellation. The damage now will come through, and he goes down.
Sans just gunning them down, and again Geek Fam trembling in fear. That's Lance Sanity!
Caught him off guard, and that key will be taken down. No immortality, but Gobs now holding on. Blazing duet by Kenziski will not be enough as Hey will fall. Severo claims the double.
Kenziski fails to deliver the win again for Geek Fam. They falter 1 by 1, and Onyx get the double. It's a 2-0 end. Geek Fam tumble once more.
Ladies and gentlemen, Onyx, they are at match point. And Geek Fam, they need to pull an alter ego move like they did yesterday.
Alter ego move, a reverse sweep might happen. We saw it happen yesterday, right? And we all talked about how it is too early for a reverse sweep to happen. But for now, again, Onyx just looks unstoppable. I mean, if you take a look at the kills, the stats has always been able to show that Onyx are so relentless, so offensive. The kill margin is just way too far for them, for Geek Fam rather, to catch on to. And it felt like for a brief moment, yet there is hope from Kenziski, but on that last fight, Onyx made him sit down. The Blazing Duet wasn't enough to save the day. And that was Beloyski always actively looking for that flank angle, setting up for Kenziski again. Take a look at the replay here, the winning moment. Right, Sans was gone from the team fight. He wasn't able to join and participate again. But Kenziski, look at that, Blazing Duet. But the members of Onyx are way too tanky, right? Kairi with the Apoxia. I mean, Ludwig again with the survivability. It's just insane. But of course, panelists, will this be a 3-0? Or will this be a possible reverse sweep? Miracle, I'm looking at you.
That's the big question here. Will it be a 3-0? Gani said it there. Match points now for Onyx. One more game away of going further up into the upper bracket finals. I think we have a man down on the panel, though.
Man down, for
Man
sure.
down.
Unfortunate, man. Oh, I mean, they did try to replicate the draft again, but it was ambitious to think that Yeb was not going to change a few things as well, right? You're going to go for the same exact draft. I'm going to pick up the Badang, not going to go for the 1-1. And then that was so smart by Yeb, dude. The Harith ban and the Moscow ban into the Irithel pick. Shut down both the meta picks, the Granger and the 1-1, the two picks that maybe you would have gone for when both Harith and Moscow were banned out. It's shut down or gets shut out by the Irithel. The only other choice would be, well, like a Bruno, we said, maybe, but even then, it's a pretty bad pick up against the composition of Onyx.
Why is Yep even here, man?
Dude, that's what you get when you have an elite roster and an elite coach. This is the impact that Yep brings to the table.
Oh, man. Miss Miranda, if you want more time with your husband, please.
Take him.
You take him to wherever it is, man. Not here. Not against Geek Fam. My God. This is so frustrating. How do you win the draft
Oh my God.
in the first game and double down and winning it out even more in the second game?
I don't know, but that's a situation we're forced in right now. And back-to-back, we're going to see the same face up on screen here. Player of the game, presented to you by the official tournament smartphone Samsung Galaxy A36 5G, is Sans once again. Back on the Kimmy, despite the Farsa respect bans we've been seeing from game number 1 and 2, he pulls out the Kimmy, one of his signatures from the regular season, and the impact is definitely glaring.
Wow. I mean, not much they can do here. I really feel like the draft, right after the draft, we already said it too, right? I mean, this wasn't game 1. Game 1, I saw an angle. I saw the way that they could actually utilize the CC to lock people down, to play with the Zaman Force. This game, they lock people down for them to die, really. The Claude is too... We actually said how bad the Claude was, right? Like, before we got into the draft of game 1. That's why we're not seeing Chidera. If the Claude and the Moscow was meta, I think Chidera would be the better choice over Kenzie. And unfortunately, the picks that we were talking about for Kenziski, Harith, Granger, Wanwan, it was shut completely down by Onyx through the draft itself. I will give Geek Fam credit though. Like, the fact that this was, in my opinion, a crazy outdraft, yet they were able to keep the gold lead so close for such a long time. I think it was, here, 13-5. The gold lead was only 1,000 away from each other. Then obviously the big triple kill happened, and then we finally got to see the gold lead go through 2,000, 3,000 gold lead. And then after that, a lot of people might be thinking, okay, why are Geek Fam fighting? But at this point, it was the only choice they had. If they continued with the trades, the Geek Fam, or sorry, the Onyx snowball would just snowball to an even bigger lead. Like, the trades would not matter at that point. So it's a Hail Mary play at this point of the game. They stuck to their guts, they traded all throughout, waited for the item power spikes up until that moment, and then it gets to a time where you just have to fight or you're going to lose anyways.
I just want to cope. Alter Ego did it. Why the hell Geek Fam can't?
Alter Ego did it.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't
they're
wanna
up
take credit,
against Bigatron.
but Bigatron
Oh,
did it more. Yeah.
I see.
I don't think Onyx or I don't think Yeb will pull anyways.
And by the way, a combined 117 KDA for below.
Oh man, I mean, we've been talking about the 0-7 power spike. The power spike's not been hitting.
I like that you mentioned Beloyski here, because I think in a lot of these scenarios, there would be a situation, a favorable situation, especially for the geeks out there, where Beloyski would get a proper pick on the chip. But from game number 1 and game number 2, it feels like Onyx have that blueprint down. Every time Beloyski looks for an opportunity to get a pick onto Sans is already a step ahead, already aware, flickers out multiple times. It's like Onyx have downloaded that code that Beloyski usually uses on either the Joe or even the chip in this particular situation.
Yeah, and I think the change that they need to do right now is just, I gotta say, they're up against Onyx. Just let go of the chip. You're a team that knows how to counter a chip. Why not just try to, at this point, any risk is worth taking. They're down 2-0. They need 3 wins in a row to be able to pull this off. Yes, you have extra life, but you would really prefer to win it out in this, in this round, because top 3 is secured if you do that. Oh man.
So you would prefer the chip being picked up by Onyx?
I don't think Onyx will even
Yeah.
100% sure take it.
I don't think
take the
they'll
chip.
pick up the chip, no. Unless they have a low E. If they have a low E, then going for the chip, it makes sense because then they have double teleports. And that's the only way we've seen Onyx make the chip work. In the regular season, the chip has been pretty bad on the hands of Keyboy.
Was this pre or post yet?
This was pre and post, yeah. The chip just does not work. And I understand, Keyboy's not really that type of a player. Chip takes more just macro control. Keyboy's always been crazy mechanics, crazy vision when it comes to how to engage. Let's take a look at the items here. Really nothing too crazy when I'm looking at Kenzi's key. These are normal, I would say pretty fast considering the game was a stomp from Onyx to get those items.
The only thing that I can point out is the early Blood Wings for Sans towards the Sky Piercer. Sky Piercer makes sense, he is snowballing, and the Blood Wings, I feel like this is interchangeable with a lot of items, but the fact that he has to trade some HPs with a boy, and if you want to win it out, that extra shield is going to come in handy. And also, just because we haven't seen a lot of export in MPL, just want to point out that Breastplate was the first item for Gobs, so less damage, but more movement speed. Maybe the main idea is try to just kite against the box,
Try to survive.
So yeah, it's survival, but it didn't work out. To be fair, Gobs actually played a decent game. He was the one that can nail down Sans. The only guy actually, instead of Kanziski, the one that probably has the main job of doing that. He has 731 KDA, I believe, which is really good for an XP laner.
So in the end, the export flex, despite us not really seeing the export too often in the XP lane, was supposed to quote-unquote work? Is this something that other teams can explore, or is this just in this situation with every other lane being shut down, Gobs was able to perform on the export?
I think the XP is in a weird place right now because for the most part, you want your XP to be a playmaker that can actually help you win Turtle 1. If you have a utility jungle, you don't need that anymore. So that's why we're seeing more damage dealers like the CC, the Paquito in the regular season, and earlier the export. So yeah, it only comes if you have a utility jungler. But even then, I think the CC has had Gob's number for the most part in the lane, and that's why Turtle 1, they just had to give.
It's incredible actually for Ludwig. I'm the biggest CC hater out there. I don't understand why early in the season people just keep picking it. Yes, you win the lane, but what do you do when you're down? What do you do when you're up? It's just zoning, and the damage is not really that much either, even if you snowball. So the fact that Ludwig was able to kind of make it work is something that we need to give applaud to.
Yeah.
And to be fair, some of the targetings from Beloy, like he was desperate to be also.
There's not much you could do, honestly. Yeah.
2 games in a row. And the first game, he was like in the top lane, in the inner turrets.
Yeah.
He was a 5-man dive, 5-man dive. Yeah, that's right. It was a CC with a vengeance. And they did it again in the bottom lane, in the first turret.
I'm just happy that Ludwig finally gets to show off the XP carries again because when he was subbed out for Rez, it was during the meta of like utility XP, just tanky XP laners, and that didn't fit Ludwig at all. Now that we're back to jungles that can go utility, Ludwig fits the bill so well. It's back to Season 13 in the same arena. It's him on Masha yesterday, it's him on CC. It's a matter of time before we get to see the Paquito and the Benedettas again.
Is MPL ID scripted?
Oh.
If it was, I don't think Onyx would win for it. Right?
Yeah, you're right. You're actually right.
That's true, that's true.
I think Vika would have won at this point, right? If it was scripted.
Why?
What do you mean, why?
Oh, nothing.
What do you mean, why?
Nothing. Nothing. It was just a question. Innocent question.
One season. Wow, I don't want to say it. I don't want to say
can't
it.
even. Oh,
I know what you're gonna say. Dude, I've made peace.
One season brilliance.
At least he's got a season, guys.
Yeah.
Is that really an insult? Oh, you have one MPL.
I mean, you have regular season,
Wow.
right? That's something,
Regular season Dior.
right?
I don't think so. He would rather be like the 6th seed, hell, even 8th seed somehow gets to the playoffs and win it out.
8 seeds somehow gets to the...
Hey, somehow, I don't know if you can bribe the... Just kidding. Why are we talking about this?
I don't know, Shevin's kind of wild, but it's okay, it's cool. 3-0?
Ooh,
Yeah.
depends on I'll call it after the draft.
Okay.
You know what? Even though I am very obviously a Geek fan here, even in the back rooms, as you would say, I was a bit pessimistic. I am a pessimistic person overall, but
But you went 3-0, Geek.
well, that's just
that's prediction.
you don't have to care about that. But in my heart, in my
Oh, okay.
no,
In
not
your
in my
head.
heart, in my brain, I'm thinking a 3-0 is very likely to happen, just because of the fact that Onyx
Onyx.
was so good yesterday against the LID.
Honestly, I didn't think it would be a 3-0. If it becomes a
Me
3-0, I thought it would have been like 3-1 at minimal,
Me neither.
3-2
Yeah.
for Onyx.
Yeah, my realistic prediction was 3-1, but again, 3-0 is very likely.
It's looking like that if there are no changes to the drafts, right?
I mean, if there are no changes in the draft, yeah, it'll probably be the same story again. I think they gotta change at this point, right? Like, yes, game 1, they had a proper draft. They had a few win conditions. We saw that in the game as well. It was reflected in the game. Game 2 was a shutout. So, game 3, I think...
so sad for Geek.
Oh,
Sorry.
man, I think you gotta go.
What are you even sad for?
I think she lost Liquid, so now she's rooting for Geek.
Ah.
But
Feels so sad.
back to the draft. Geek fam. Yeah, maybe let go of the chip, pick up the Kalea, go for a normal standard composition now, and try to win it out there, because clearly this thing that they're trying is not working out.
Just the initial plan has to change because Geek Fam
Okay.
does not have that luxury of Onyx, weird picks in the later part of the draft, unless you want to go crazy and pick something like a Natalia or a Saber. If somehow it works, or the
Oh.
Hellcurt again.
Wolf would love that.
And even if you want to force Kairi on Assassins, I think it'll be an even faster game if Kairi
I don't-
gets an Assassin. Like, this... it's been lingering in a lot of your guys' head as well, probably, right? Like, oh, maybe ban the Baksha. Then what? Leave the Hayabusa open? Leave the Lo Yi open?
And then what?
And then maybe take the red side away from Yeb might be also a way to... This has always been the Geek Fam
Yeah.
way to go up against Onyx. They take red side away. Yeb is so good on red. He's always loved red side. Beloy knows it, and I think he needs to utilize what he knows now.
So
Take it
sad.
away.
Feels bad. But as I'm sad, we're gonna take it to Bude with an interview with a special someone. Let's see it first.
Cukup menegangkan, apalagi khususnya untuk tim Geek Fam. Ini adalah perdana mereka dan Bude juga melihat ketegangan ada di dua sisi. Bukan hanya Geek Fam, namun juga Onyx. Karena mereka tinggal selangkah lagi. Dan biasanya nih, kalau yang tinggal selangkah-selangkah itu malah yang lebih bahaya. Dan di tengah-tengah keramaian dari Jakarta International Velodrome, tentunya kedua super fans, kedua support system sudah terlihat. Dan Bude kepengen langsung ngobrol-ngobrol bersama dengan keluarga besar dari kedua tim. Asik.
Halo.
Halo, ini dari keluarga besar Onyx dulu nih. Ada Shay dan juga Dlar.
Halo.
Halo Shay, berarti ini 2 hari ya datang berturut-turut. Bagaimana nih kamu ngelihat langsung di babak playoff tim Onyx?
Pastinya seneng banget dan seru banget sih. Apalagi ini kan season 13, terakhir juga kita di sini dan menang. Jadi pasti pede banget.
Membawa memori indah ya. Kalau di Jakarta International Velodrome, karena mengangkat piala sempat terhenti. Tapi kalau Dlar sendiri, ini playoff Onyx modenya beda ya?
Ya beda, dari regular season gameplaynya beda banget.
Beda banget.
Lebih rapi.
Lebih rapi, Dlar aja bisa kelihatan. Tapi di sisi lain, keluarga besar dari Geek Fam juga sudah ada di sini. Halo, Fasli dan juga Eko.
Halo Bude.
Gimana? Hadir ke babak playoff, tapi ini beda karena kalian berada di upper bracket, berada langsung di hari yang kedua. Gimana sih kalian melihat ini?
Kita sih senang karena ini kan pertama kalinya ya Geek upper bracket di Velodrome. Terus kita juga pede sih bisa reverse sweep. Karena kan kita season lalu ada pulangin Onyx kan dan semoga bisa menang hari ini.
Betul, musim lalu di babak play-in 5 game dimainkan. Dan di sini juga Eko, Bude penasaran melihat suasana Geek. Gimana sih ini perdana mereka, match pembukaan mereka. Apakah lagi pada grogi-grogi atau kenapa nih 2 game?
Kayaknya sih nggak grogi ya, cuman lagi ngepur aja.
Lagi santai-santai aja dulu ya.
Ya.
Jadi kalau ngelihat kayaknya dari keluarga Gifem nggak ada yang panik. Kalian panik nggak ini? Udah 2-0 gini. Kalian belum punya poin loh.
Enggak sih, nggak panik. Deg-degan aja dikit.
Deg-degan aja dikit. Tapi mungkin berbeda halnya ya kalau situasi dari tim Onyx. memang sudah ngedapetin 2-0. Tapi 2-0 ini kemenangan yang gimana sih, Dar? How do you see games about the wins?
Kayaknya si Geekfam mainnya kurang makro sih. Kayaknya di regular season itu Geekfam kuat banget main makro kan. Tapi hari ini nggak lihat makronya gitu.
Ini nggak bermain makro playnya nggak kemainin karena Onyx atau memang jati diri Geekfam yang belum keluar? Is it because Onyx stops the gameplay or something else?
Kayaknya dari Geekfam sih. Kayak mereka player-playernya dependable banget sama Baloyski sih. They need to play for themselves lah gitu.
Oh well, kalau itu berarti masalah yang cukup berat ya untuk Geekfam kalau dilanjutkan. Kira-kira kalau ngelihat hal ini, bisa nggak sih masalah seperti itu? Kamu kan mantan player juga nih, you're ex-player. Is it easy or hard untuk bounce back, untuk ngeriset ulang?
Kayaknya gak juga sih, kayak gak susah. Soalnya ada Baloyski. Baloyskinya mentalnya kuat banget.
Oke, gak susah katanya. Tapi berharap yang terbaik pastinya kalau kalian ngelihat ini, ada gak sih mungkin sesuatu hal yang dikasih tahu gimana persiapan dari Geekfam masuk ke babak playoff ini yang mungkin kita nggak tahu?
Gak ada sih. Kayaknya sih menurut aku mereka juga latihan kayak biasa aja.
Mereka latihan karena kita udah tahu dari regular season mereka udah keras banget. Tapi boleh dong Che, kasih semangat dan kasih tahu seluruh Sonic untuk mendukung nih Onyx yang satu langkah lagi bisa melangkah maju.
Ya jangan lupa buat dukung Onyx dan aku juga pasti dukung banget apalagi karena season lalu kan di babak play-ins Onyx kalah sama Geek. Jadi revenge.
Let's go, revenge. Gimana halnya nih dari Geekfam? Kasih tahu Geekfam Unity, kasih tahu Geekfam gimana semangat kalian biar bisa stay di upper bracket.
Buat Geekfam tetap semangat. Kita percaya kalian bisa reverse sweep.
Bisa reverse sweep semuanya. Ada yang mau revenge, ada yang mau reverse sweep. Siapa yang bisa mewujudkannya? Kita akan langsung lihat bersama-sama. Let's go panelists, Geekfam dan juga Onyx.
Oh, Dilar's here.
He flew in yesterday.
Dilar.
Oh, Dilar.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, he
to
flew
Dilar.
in yesterday.
Yeah, just yesterday. I saw him,
Oh.
I think his story. You
IG
asked.
story, yeah.
He was asking, why is Dilar flying to Indo? I'm like, oh, he's a EA, bro. He's an Onyx EA.
That's
Yeah.
super cute.
Dilar with Shay,
Yep.
right there.
Showing their support for the team.
Kairi's
obviously.
buddy.
But it looks like the fam community are still in high spirits as well. They believe that maybe Baloyski and friends are still, warming up.
I think this is,
Yeah?
what's the term? Like, they just want to humor themselves.
I mean,
Is it cope?
Aren't Geek known to be slow starters?
No,
I guess.
That's actually true. In the regular season, they always lose
Hey.
one game, and then they proceed to reverse sweep their opponents.
Geek RRQ in the playoffs back then, season 12.
So you're telling me Chidera's going to be subbed in now, and then they're going to win?
I don't think he's gonna be subbed in, especially with the fact that Geek Fam is still has one life, right?
Okay.
But let's refocus onto this next game because obviously we've already talked about the draft, we talked about the sides that maybe they might want to consider switching, but what about this? Shots geeked out in the last two games, Badang plus Kimmy. Do you think they should ban, deny, or counter?
I think it's more Baksha and Kimmy, not the Badang and Kimmy. If they somehow can just first pick the Baksha, the Kimmy gets taken away. If they want to play utility, I think the Baksha should be prioritized over the chip or the Fredrin at this point, right? Because that's really been the way that Onyx have taken the games under their control with the draft too. They go Baksha, you can't go Kimmy, it's a free Kimmy pick to them, and then they just play with the Kimmy.
It's just, Baksha just enables so much, big man. It's just
Exactly.
so unfair. The fact that Fredrin is, I think, 2 tiers below Baksha, and also the fact that it can be
Fair.
easily more flex than Fredrin.
No, I
makes
don't
it
think Fredrin
much
is even
better.
flex.
In the XP, kinda, kinda. It happened in the regular season once, but
That
you know.
was like the way they won to wasn't convincing though. That BTR did that. It was just like it was against Zewa. We don't count that.
Yeah, when you pick a Baksha, everything just opens up,
Okay.
The Irithel just elevated by twofold. Angela is pickable, a hero that does not have any business to play in the pro scene most of the time. But with Baksha, it worked wonders.
Yeah.
Okay, so Baxia is the problem then.
Baksha is a problem.
What do we do with the Boxia?
You
They can
ban
first
it.
pick They either ban
Oh,
it.
difference of opinion here.
I think they can ban it,
Yeah,
but they can also first pick it.
Either one of those.
Yeah.
You don't want to be Bigatron.
Okay.
What do you mean?
Oh,
They
ouch.
They banned Franco. That's like the better choice, no?
Yeah, you know what? Yeah. Great.
Wow. Anyways, yeah. Don't pull a Bigatron here. I think Geek Fam just needs to identify how good the Baksha is. And it's so interesting because BTO were the ones that started that train. It's so weird. 2-0 to Onyx. Geek Fam. This guy that you see on your screen. With this guy you see on your screen. The two dudes, Yeb and Sans. They're monsters.
Oh man. Should I kidnap Yeb?
Only you can. Man's a big dude, you know, and now he's buffed too.
Oh yeah, you're right. Probably has some.
And he's a VP.
Yeah, so some.
Probably got some bodyguards.
I mean, on his own, he's already a pretty formidable opponent for me. You know.
Yeah, with your bad knees.
No, you don't have to go there.
Oh, he has bad knees?
He has bad knees.
Okay.
That's why he can't play basketball pro anymore. He used to be.
I'm
right?
not a pro, bro.
Beloy used to be a high school basketball. Like, he was good.
Yeah, we built the same, Beloy and me.
I think you're a bit taller.
As we can play roamer as well as anybody. We have the same amount of game IQ,
I can't confirm.
same amount of
I can
charisma
confirm.
and leadership also.
Shaking my head.
The only thing
These
that's
guys don't
different
know.
is a bit older than me.
Okay. Miracle is shaking his head sideways, by the way. Not,
Yeah,
Oh, that would be nodding.
that would be not that.
What?
Yeah.
We have a term for that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not shaking your head up and down.
No. Oh man. Please take reds. No,
Oh.
they go first pick. Geek Fam.
Again, blue side.
Home
They don't like
team.
change, bro. Like you said, like
If
it
they
worked.
still go, I mean, it worked because they got a specific draft. Like in game 2, very vocal about it not being a good draft. In game 1, okay, it's a composition to fully enable the Harith. I can see it. Game 2, there was no Harith. It was banned out. There's no Granger in 1-1 either because the Iritha was picked up. At least Beloyski's still smiling, right?
Yeah.
So you
By the
can see-
way, talking about Beloyski, is he still injured?
I don't know.
Or
I
is
don't
he
think that he's
okay?
getting better this season.
It's something that he has been dealing with for a while, apparently, like that carpal tunnel. He's just been diagnosed
Oh.
now. So now he knows that he has it.
Have you experienced it?
What, carpal tunnel?
Like, how does that feel? Because I kind of feel
Like cramping?
maybe.
So if you, this is better with a visual. We'll talk about it later with a visual.
Okay. Meanwhile, we're gonna go straight into the draft for, I'm sorry, Sheffin, potentially the last game in this upper bracket series. Game number 3, presented to you by the official tournament smartphone Samsung Galaxy A36 5G. With Geek on the blue side yet again, will we be seeing changes in the draft of the first phase?
Oh,
Kimmy ban.
Kimmy!
And there it is, the Kimmy gets banned out.
Okay, so this technically does enable them to go for the same picks again because they won't be facing off against the same opponents, right? So technically there are differences there. The choice, Hayabusa has been left up for grabs. So Geek Fam, this is a dangerous game. If they want to go for
Yeah.
the chip, maybe they want to counter the chip or counter the Haya with the chip. Onyx, they always ban Juicin and the Faramis here, but I don't know if they want to ban out the Faramis again. Because they didn't go with Wanwan earlier anyways, right?
Is it possible they just go Hayabusa themselves?
If it's
Geek
not
Fam?
picked,
Yeah.
First pick Haya, I think they'd much rather go for first pick Kalea or Chip over the Hayabusa, to be fair.
do you think, no matter what Geek picked,
There you go.
do you think Onyx can go Baksha and Irithel right away? Or is that too greedy?
Who? Geek? Onyx?
Onyx,
Onyx.
Onyx. For the first two picks.
I think that we can see the Harith come in, the Moskov as well. I think it
Oh
might
yeah,
be
you're at
too
Harith
greedy,
is still
but
available.
it's not bad. It's not bad for sure. Geek Fam Chip, Baksha, Kalea, those are the first picks that I would have in my mind right now if I was Geek Fam. It would just be between those three. They go for the Kalea. They are going for the straightforward approach. Onyx. Will they go Chip or will they... Do they even go Baksha at this point? I don't know. I don't think so.
I think it's either one of two. You cannot pick those two at the same time. Well, you can, but like, and Onyx made it work. They picked Luoyi and also a chip. That's an overload of teleporter, but they made it work with the Kaja too. So maybe they can, you know, play with this heavy rotation kind of play style with the Baksha already.
The Hayabusa is still open.
Yeah.
Wait, yeah, you're right.
I think it should be the Chip and the Haya then, right? They should be setting up for a Kairi game The gank across the map. The Kalea can be... Oh, whoa, huh?
That's wait, you know what? I don't know, but
I don't like
my take.
Yeah.
This might actually be experimental.
This is, I think so. Claude and the chip, they're trying to utilize the Geek Fam formula that failed. And oh, if they win, this is a big blow to Geek Fam for sure. But Geek Fam stick to their guns and play the normal comp, right? Like, you don't need to go for anything too crazy. You see these picks, but you don't need to get shaken. The Harith makes a lot of sense. Right? Wins up against the Claude as well.
The Immortal One chose me to finish
Whoa! Well,
Fan of that. The Yi can come out now for Onyx if they want to.
You said that
The Valentina.
stick to what works, and these three are pretty much what the heroes that identified with
Not the
themselves.
Faramis. I mean, yes, with a boy, but not in the regular season. What? Did we even get to see a Faramis in the regular season?
I think so.
Once or a few times, but I believe it was pretty bad, right? Like, 50% win rate for a boy on the Faramis.
Okay.
It's not the best choice in the Eve. Still up for grabs for Onyx if they really want to shut down the Faramis. They can also go Valentina. Later on, they can go Edith if they want to, with XP as well. A lot of options. But I think the Hayabusa is, again, an option they can still go for at this point, right? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, finally that's right.
Yeah. No more curveballs, at least in the last pick on the red side. Now,
Why do you think there's so much change coming in from Geek?
Well, they need to.
yeah, I think this is a bit crazy, though. I'm not a fan of the Faramis in this current meta. Onyx, they also kind of have a way to deal with it. They banned out the Faramis in the last 2 games. The Claude is actually pretty good against the Faramis, so
Yeah.
if we want to talk about why they go Claude, I guess they were anticipating the Faramis pick already. That's why they also didn't go for the Valen of the Eve, just because they already have a Claude to kind of deal with that later on. Now, mid lane and XP for Onyx, and for Geek Fam, it's the gold lane and a possible, should be XP. Could be a Badang still for Geek Fam in the roam department, and that's why Onyx just ban out the Granger. I think the Harith will come in next, right? Valen ban, there you go.
I wonder why it's Granger instead of just Badang and Harith, because it's always Badang every time Beloski encounters this chip.
Yeah.
Like, what else is there for him to be able to kind of like be reactive towards this chip? Like a Tig? Like a
Cho?
Kalea too? Like, it's not really that good either.
They
The
can't
Cho.
go Cho Kalea. Could be like a, yeah.
And put something that, like, where's the burst coming from though? I guess Suyo can take that place in a mid game.
Against the chip, so we've seen Gatot.
Whoa.
Oh. With a Haya and a Claude, I would expect the Wanwans would let go.
It should be an easy Harith and Badang, right?
Yeah, that definitely fits the bill right now for Geek Fam. Harith and the Badang definitely fits. Have some of the, some AoE. Could be a Gatot Kacha too, by the way. Right? I think that's a good shout there. Boom, there you go. Valentina and Eve, the 2 picks that I thought would be shown up by Onyx. Now it's been taken away. No, none of the carries. Valentina, Eve, Farsa, Kimi, 4 bans to Sans.
What does Lutfi play here?
I think he has to play a bit more tanky here.
Yeah.
No more of the CCs. Something that can...
I think the Edith works.
But the fact that it's not been present, even in the regular season, I don't think he's going to be an Edith. But I do like the shout.
I don't think we're going to see Glue here with the Faramis already picked up.
Hey, who knows?
Do you think like
They,
Badang,
they did it
Gatot?
against DL, right?
Badang, Gatot not so much. Maybe actually Gatot's not bad either. Yeah, there's a lot of
Taking away
options
as
right
well
now.
from Geek?
A lot of options. They can go with whatever at this point. Like, it's all really, really good.
Benedetta?
Oh my lord!
That's Sansa's signature
I love
pick!
it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Oh,
my
my
lord.
lord.
Yo.
Oh my lord, this is Sansa's legit
Oh man,
signature pick.
So good.
I see Lilia, I see Sans.
Dude, and it's against the Faramis too. It's a damage dealer.
AoE,
It's AoE. It's
Save.
good against a Suyo.
exactly.
Oh man, like I mean, I have been talking
Good
about this.
clear.
I've been talking about this with my friends as we've just been playing ranked games, right? Like, why isn't the Lilia up against the Baxia, Fredrin? It really looks like a hero that should work, and we finally see it here. Not against the Fredrin or Baxia, but against the Faramis. Maybe an even better choice. XP pick for Onyx up against the Hilda as well. The Hilda is not bad at all against the Hayabusa and the Lilia, I believe. I'm not too sure how it does with the Lilia. It's been a while since I've seen Lilia. But XP.
It shouldn't be too big of a problem against Lilia, right? Lilia fast clear, can
I
the
really
vision as
think
well
it's
in
just
the
Edith.
bushes.
No?
Yeah, I think so. No, I didn't think so. Because I said it earlier because no one picked
Oh, with the
Edith.
Hilda and Harith?
No, still not.
The end of one thing is the
That,
beginning of
that's
another.
actually way better.
Oh my lord, GG.
What?
Oh, against
GG.
Harith as well?
And
Good
after we
game.
said that Esmeralda does not have a place in this meta,
We said it's
Conditional.
conditional. Devin,
Conditional.
we said it's conditional. We never said it was not in the meta.
Conditional.
It is, the conditions have been met.
Is this the debut pick, Esme Onyx?
Yeah,
think
for
so, right?
P, I believe. It's 3-0, by the way, I think. This is a, yeah.
You're calling it?
I'm calling it
What do you
after
think,
the draft.
Treffin?
I think so.
Calling it too?
I guess.
All right, with the debut pick, Lilia for San's signature pick, will this be enough to seal the deal for the Sky Kings to make it to the final upper brackets? Let's throw it over to our casters.
Thank you, panelists. And we are on the verge of Onyx possibly making it a 3-0. Yesterday was a reverse sweep day. Will it happen today? We'll see that happen in the Land of Dawn as we take a look at game number 3. Onyx against Geek Fam.
Potentially the last game, ladies and gentlemen. If Onyx wins this, they will secure the final upper brackets, and that they will be a step closer in securing MSC. Ladies and gentlemen, let's jump into the Land of Dawn.
MSC and Riyadh, obviously a ticket that they really, really want. Action in the mid lane though.
Oh, again! This time, it's gonna be a boy taking down first yet again. Sans, he is hungry for blood.
What is happening with the games just dropping bodies in the 50th second of it starting? Look at Gobbs, he's gonna cut the lane because he knows against the Esmeralda it is tough work because it just chips down the shielding that the Hilda has and the Hilda needs. And this is why, this is, I think, yet another masterclass from Yeb. He's able to pick up 2 heroes that is very strong against the Faramis, which is the Lilia, as well as the Claude. Because Faramis entails you to group up beneath the Netherrealm, and these are 2 AoE heroes, plus the Lilia that is so bursty. Taking a look at the emblems though, before that Kairi wants to go deeper. But yeah, again, I think the win cons for Onyx are in the team fights. They have proper setup, plus the Esmeralda later on, that can just burst down the shields and have that anti-regen.
Oh, that's gonna be a pull. Great flicker there. It's gonna be Keyboy actually taken down. They have equalized kill wise. That's gonna be Onyx here, just slowing down. But yeah, you're right here. 4 Purifies also. Keep in mind, 4 Purifies on the board for Onyx. They are really just respecting and also like, hey, we gotta purify. What are you gonna do, Kalea?
This is what we call an anti-Baloyski draft. No, I'm kidding. Obviously, you need escape mechanism from that Tsunami Slam because the Kalea can be such a menace with the pick-off style that it brings to the table as well. Gobbs will zone out Kairi, and the Shadow Kill pops.
Now that's gonna be the Shadow Kill already pops. Lookby now trying to buy time, but seems like he will be punished. Turtle, Lookby's not punished, he survives. Turtle falls Geek though, but Onyx, they have secured a trade on towards Gob, so a Turtle for a kill.
And we need to remember as well, Esmeralda is kind of mobile. I feel like it can go in and out. It has the ultimate. If push comes to shove, it has that option to just jump out of a sticky situation. And I think that's something that's very good that Lookby has been doing, right? He's able to just dish out the damage, try to hinder down Geek Fam's pressure, and he just pops out of the team fight, or rather that skirmish. So at least now Onyx, they have set their footing. A boy might look for Keyboy.
Gotta be careful here. Keyboy has to purify. Shortcut pops. Let's see. Kairi jumps in. Severo as well. That's a stun. Tsunami Slam. Purify in response. Kairi, another realm committed. That's gonna be Onyx. Will they just back away?
Sans almost gets taken down there. But another plus point as well from this composition, right, is how much safety it has. Like Claude has the BMI to just move back behind another pressure. Lookby, again, we talked about it, the ultimate, and then Kairi. Plus Sans with the ultimate as well. You have those, that ultimate in the hands of Sans that could just make him aggressive. He will play aggressive. This is Sans' favorite hero. This is his signature pick. So I think it's a sweet treat for us seeing Sans with the Lilia. The Keyboy.
Don't purify this sign. Flash course. Oh, under the turret, Severo is there, but Keyboy will be punished this time around. I do want to mention that Onyx formation or composition, their theme is speed / mobility. Yeah, all 5, right? It's either fast rotations, has speed, and let's see, will it come to fruition or will Geek Fam actually force a game 4?
Again, with the chip, right? It enables you to just join the team fights again. We talked about this multiple times. It was picked up twice by Geek Fam, now snatched by Onyx. Meanwhile, in the game, Turtle is their priority. Obviously, Valoisky will come forth. Keyboy.
Shortcut, great cancellation there. Another round pops. Oh, Keyboy falls again. Now, Blazing Duet pops. That's going to be the Shadow kill span as well. Shadow towards the back. Kenziski, very aggressive flickers out of danger. Lupi trying to catch Kenziski. Red-handed, but great spacing and backup. Geek Fam punishes.
Geek Fam are able to layer the team fights into perfection. They bait out the resources first. They don't commit into that one big team fight. They're able to just isolate Onyx and stop them in the pedestal. Valoisky have been so active as well with the Kalea, just looking for that zoning potential, also moving into Onyx jungle to scout for information. That is something that Chip can do. The Kalea can do that as well. And now up top, Onyx, oh wait!
Will this be a solo? I don't think so. It's a Hilda. Gobs will be able to retreat. But yeah, this time around it's a different feel. Game 1, Game 2, early game has been Onyx, but this time it's actually 2K for Geek Fam.
This is the first time in the series that Geek Fam are able to clench control of the game. So far, they have been able to survive Onyx, I'd say, draft objective, because the fact that they picked up these type of heroes is number 1, to move very freely, to move in mobility, number 2, to burst down and play, to counter that Faramis Netherrealm. And so far, it's looking very good for them. Keyboy against Makids. Makids, where will you run?
Shortcut in hand, but seems like doesn't really find a connection there. Bottom side pushed, top lane destroyed. Geek Fam, they have all the prios.
I think for Geek Fam, it's all about surviving until the late game. I mean, Harith also, with 2 kills in the hands of Kenziski, will be a menace. Like, it'll be an annoying force to deal with by Onyx. But again, they have that Esmeralda to kind of chip in that shielding, and the survivability of the Harith just becomes very, very low. For Geek Fam though, Tsunami Slam.
The connection onto it's the Hayabusa! Great BBB play once again. A Lutfi punish as well, and Geek Fam, they are in the jungles of Onyx.
That's the Ninja gone. Sans next on the chopping block. Gobs is there.
Oh, Black Shoes, Purify will save. No, not save Sans. That's gonna be Blazing Duet actually. That's Netherrealm in hand. Ladies and gentlemen, 5K almost established by Geek as Kenziski wants some party, wants a party, and that will be Kenziski collecting a kill, though he will be punished.
Kairi is back, and Gobs gets Severo. That's a total as well to boot, but Gobs now stuck in no man's land.
That's gonna be Gobs taken down. Kairi picks up a double, perhaps setting up a more kills there for Kai. Purple buff contest. Let's see.
Not even the Black Shoes was able to save Sans. So at least Geek Fam, they won that team fight with the Netherrealm being held on till the last second. So that was very, very good coming in from Geek Fam. They're layering again, rationing that spell, that ultimate. The hands of a boy. They know, they want to make sure that Onyx has expended so much until they pop it. Or maybe when push comes to shove, then it happens. But as of now, it's Geek Fam controlling the tempo again, dictating the game. 4K gold deficit for Onyx. They have to crawl their way back. This Esmeralda though, come the late game, I feel like it'll get slower. It'll be held in place by Geek Fam. For Onyx, they need to bank on Kairi, on Severo as well, because the Claude is kind of weak in this state of the game. And now let's take a look at the items. Hunter Strike, 4x completed for the Hayabusa. Same goes for the Suyo. But Makids is 800 gold up ahead of Kairi. Means that he has been farming pretty well with the pressure that Geek Fam is able to exert.
Oh, gotta be careful. That's a Black Shoes already triggered. Ludwig very low. Valoisky doesn't really find connection to Keyboy. Finds a flank. That's a shortcut pop. Kairi jumps in all towards a boy who is very low and will be taken down.
Tsunami Slam connects and Kairi has nowhere to go. Geek Fam, they turn.
Oh, the recovery is beautiful by Geek Fam. And Onyx, they are starting to feel the nerves.
The smiling jungler smiles wide. Make it with the triple kill, cementing Geek Fam's domination in game number 3. And again, they look to siege this, but no minions, and the Holy Defense popped as well. They will seek and change their sights onto that mid turret. Down bottom, it's Severo again with the split push potential. Again, we talk about the shortcut from the chip that enables him to join the fight late.
Be careful here, Onyx. They will try to at least defend this holy shield. That's gonna be the shadow kill though.
No shadow kill connects, and Esmeralda jumps in. Lookby has to go back up, just chips him down.
Oh my goodness, damage from a boy. Great calculation there. And that will be Lutby punished. 20 seconds for him to get back up. Will that be enough for Geek to blitz this Lord?
Ooh, that was so close. Severo was recalling when Gobs was running onto him, and the Lord now. This is the question, right? Geek Fam, at least this Hilda has been a very pivotal tool for them to traverse and navigate around the team fights. The Hilda has been there to just soak up the damage and be the sandbag, the punching bag. And look at Onyx, they don't want to contest this. They know they can't at this point of the game because they need the items, they need that damage to go through. As of now, it's only Onyx watching from afar, and the Lord has been secured by Geek Fam. Will this be a 3-1? 6.4k gold lead. With the Lord as well coming in, they have that holy defense popped up top, so maybe they want to eye that spot, but as of now, it'll spawn in the mid lane.
Seems like Onyx, they will not take any risk there to perhaps contest the Lord. They will choose to defend. Why? They have great high ground, right? Lilia, Claude, and Hayabusa. So let's see here, the defense from Onyx, and also the offense from Geek Fam. The first time they have technically a threat in the series.
Onyx, that's the holy defense popped as well. The second one, the Geek Fam are relentless to shove in the wave into the base. And down bottom is Gobs, just doing God's work of clearing that wave. And again, holy defense might just be popped. But as of now, it's Onyx holding their base pretty well. No inhibitor turret taken down. Geek Fam also knows that they can't let it slip. They can't play this to a blunder. But Beloyski, I think Onyx has to really pay attention to Beloyski. If possible, Tsunami Slam onto Kairi, which, by the way, he doesn't have that Purifier, right? As the jungler. So they have that high priority target that they have to protect. But Beloyski, I think, so far with the Kalea, with Tsunami Slam, has been very on point on his target selection. So now Onyx, they'll try to go out of the base, and is that a stolen orange buff by Kairi?
Yeah, that was Kairi,
That was Kairi's.
on point on his retribution there.
Yeah.
80 seconds on the next Lord, though.
Yeah, Keyboy though, down bottom. Think he might look for something. Gobs, hello!
Yep, Gob says hi. Bot Shadow in response. That's a flicker! Oh my goodness, power of Wilderness almost locking him down. Okay, Keyboy is there to provide a backup. Concealed Tarina, at least by time. Uh-oh.
What?
Kairi has a shadow. Kensiski, oh my goodness, this time around, Kairi will not be able to find an escape play. But great, just great anticipation there from the side of Geek.
Kairi was caged like a bird. Up, Tsunami Slam!
That's a Purify. That's gonna be the Geek Fam keeping tabs on Sansa's Purify there, so that's great info, knowing that 30 seconds, the next neutral objective will be on the board.
It's odd to see the Hayabusa or Kairi die 3 times in a single game. Usually we know him for being someone who's able to conserve himself and not die multiple times, but this Kalea again proving to be a problem. And that was also Gobs just running into the Hayabusa, and Kairi has no chance to go anywhere. Take a look at the items. The Harith is insane, but Onyx with the rumble in the jungle.
Another realm. Let's see this fight. Make it trying to provide the damage. They have info. Keyboy very low. Kensiski has enough space to take him down. Look, he almost taken down, but off-camera kill. Technically, Kairi goes down for 30.
Everything swings to the favor of Geek Fam. 9.3k gold lead. Tsunami Slam again. Purified.
Yeah, that's also, again, just info after info, right? No Purify, Sans, and Lutby.
Solo Lord.
Just solo Lord on the Suyo. Will we see a game 4? Perhaps.
Perhaps. Possibly. But we know Onyx, they might turn things around, but as of now, I don't see that light in the end of the tunnel for Onyx, because Geek Fam has been able to win every single skirmish that they had so far, leading up to the mid-game to even late game now. We're entering that stage. The Lord does march into that mid side. So basically now, it's only Onyx defending. Again, you mentioned it, they have good high ground defense. Sans, right? With the Lilia, it helps. The Blazing Duet from Severo might just look for a moment to then explode onto Geek Fam. But as of now, it's Onyx with their base just trembling.
Yeah, they're sacrificing their mid turret here. Very natural. And let's see here. Geek Fam, what will they do? Black Shoes triggered. Kensiski comes in with challenge for Severo, very low. Keyboy pops a Purify, but he will fall.
This might be the end. Onyx, they have nothing else to fight for. As Geek Fam, they will not go down without a fight. 2-1. And Geek Fam, they get their first win of the series.
Onyx still at match point, but wow, Geek Fam showing another color in the series, and yeah, convincing stuff, convincing win. A Geek Fam will force the game 4.
I don't understand. They were forcing the draft to be so favored on towards them. We talked about Onyx having that masterclass of a composition in the hands of Yeb, but Geek Fam were still able to fight back with Maykids showing up, Gobs as well with the Hilda, and of course the man on your screen, Mr. Kalea Loiski. With the Tsunami Slam, Kairi did not have any good space to play in that game. Basically, the Hayabusa just caught. It's a ninja diff.
Yeah, man, ex-teammates, and this time Paloy had the last laugh. This was the final push. Yeah, Onyx struggled to defend that. What a siege. One turret, enough to take them, their main base.
It is very enough, and not even the Harith or the Lilia could save. But I want to know why Onyx lost. So panelists, please break it down for me.
After major adjustments from Geek Fam in the drafts, in game number 3, they actually come back. 2-1 now, Sheffin.
I thought, is this the fabled Lilia Sans? Who is that?
Whoa! To be fair, I think we did. I
Shots
think
fired.
I severely overestimated the Lilia damage.
Yep.
The Esmeralda early game
And I guess the range and the
Claude.
you know, the matchup against the Faramis, like, it actually went towards a boy, I gotta say.
I don't think so. I think they fell behind so hard that the Faramis ultimately was able to beat it up. Because early on, I think the Lilia was still getting rid of the Netherrealm quite easily. It's just, I think the Esmeralda should, in their minds as well, be doing more damage and should be more tanky. We didn't get to see that. I think even from the regular season, when we did get to see the Esmeralda, it was always a tanky force who was good in the early game. It wasn't present here. Like, the Esmeralda was a squishy, very, very squishy. Take away the tank. It's tank mage, tank fighter. Take away the tank out of there. It's like a pure mage.
I don't know, but not so tanky though. Like, he took a lot of beating from Kensiski. Like, it took a lot of Chrono Vision
Isn't
and
that guy
Synchro Dash
supposed to
be able
like,
to
countered?
get. Yeah, I guess,
Right?
but like, you know, it's a Harith at the end of the day, and also Suyo from Maykids. The damage was there from early to mid game for Geek Fam, and I guess you can kind of see why a boy was picking the Faramis, why it got banned by Yeb. It is that useful for Geek Fam, especially when you see these guys just jumping on towards, I mean, some of the shortcuts that Keyboy did. A boy comes and it's just over. Like, there's nothing that Onyx can do to be able to change that team fight, you know, swinging towards their favor. Shout out to Boloski. 0-0-12. 0-0-12.
Sticking to the basics, man. What works?
A lot of miscalculations for sure, going back to that point about the Nether Realm. And I think that's the beauty of Geek when they get their comfort heroes. I think Sheffin was the one who mentioned it in the drafts. These 3 mid-trios being brought back onto their signature and comfort picks from the regular season. Beloyski back on the Kalia, Faramis back on a boy. You can see Maykids also being very comfortable securing these objectives in the early game as well. You can see the way that he's able to control in terms of like the kill pressure and the way he adjusts in the game depending on the situations. It really worked in favor of the Geek. We're looking at the replay right now, and I didn't see a single opening coming in from Onyx to turn this game around.
All the openings were from Geek Fam actually, right? Even here, when you saw a double kill for Kairi, it was really just Geek Fam overextending. I think all the wins they got as well was really Geek Fam just taking these moves that ended up not really being too relevant in the end for Onyx even. Like, even though they got a double, it was never really enough. And Make It, I gotta say, on the Suyo, he's one of the guys that can actually make this work even despite the nerfs. This guy is so good with the pathing instantly. Like, the level lead was evident, the way he was controlling the fights as well, creating these angles of attack and knowing when to go Immortal or Assassin form, knowing the pure limits of this hero. Make It amazing on the Suyo.
He is Suyo.
He is Suyo!
21 times picked up, #1 in the regular season, and really good win rate. Very positive.
Yeah.
For sure, for sure. And
I
shout
think
out to Gops, by the way, because this is a hero that I don't think he's pretty comfortable at. Like, he didn't really pick Hilda in the second half of the season at all, I gotta say. So that's why I was like, I don't know about this, dude. Yes, Hilda may work against Hayabusa, against this, you know, trying to get the Black Shoes out of the way from Sans, but you gotta stick to what works, as we mentioned earlier.
Wait, Chip 080907. 3 games in a row, Chip has just been a death, like a kill spree for everyone that goes up against
ATM.
it. He's literally an ATM. Keyboy now on it. For me, it's more surprising that Beloyski didn't make it work, right? Because for Keyboy, we haven't seen him make it work. That was why it was kind of concerning. I think Onyx underestimated Geek Fam's fairness by not going for Valentina or Yves early, but I think it was because they had an answer with the Lilia. It's just they didn't expect.
I mean, the early Claude pick was
that one was
predicting a Faramis pick coming in from Boy.
But the way they used it too was weird, right? Like, when you think Claude, what do you think? You think wait for item power spike and then you go for fights. They were fighting with the chip early. Like, when the shortcut was popped in, Savero came in, blazing duet, dealing no damage. I remember that moment, like it was right around Turtle up top. So I think Onyx also were a bit overconfident with how they executed their composition. But in the end, I think it was just severely miscalculated as well. Like, they were expecting way more damage from Lilia, they were expecting way more tankiness and damage from the Esmeralda. Because yes, you are up against the Harith, and the Harith will be able to go through your defenses as an Esmeralda, but not in the early game. I thought that was the case. Here, in the early game even, it wasn't a problem for Geek Fam. At no point of this game was the Esmeralda relevant, despite it being, should be, like, against a Faramis, Harith, this comp early, it should, by all means, be a solid choice.
For sure. Looking at the items though, I mean, look at where Savero is at right now. Only 2 items secured, not even a, you know, he has a magic blade, so that's a counter towards the magic damage from Kanziski, but it's definitely not enough when you have a snowballing Harith, and also Make It is, you know, in a way, the main trouble too. When he got his item in a mid-game, already securing that towards the endless battle. He didn't even go for something like a, you know, wings, usually. You know, at this point, he went just deep with that one.
Fun fact, I'm a Suyo main this season. I always go endless battle in my games. Even on stream, a lot of people are like, why you go endless battle? Bro, I'm stomping so hard. Why would I not? Why would I go Queen's Wings when the enemy team does no damage to me? Right? Especially in the early parts of the season when you still had magic damage reduction. Now that you don't have it, makes more sense for you to go Queen's Wings, but again, they had so many ways to just go in and no ways for Onyx to really retaliate against the Suyo. So go for more damage. The endless battle ended up being, I think, value choice for Suyo.
So we had to kind of summarize what went wrong for Onyx. What would those points be?
I think overestimating the counters that they had for Faramis and the Claude and the Lilia.
So drafts?
I think the draft was actually, you know, competitive. Onyx had ways to win.
I think before we saw the game, it made sense. I agree with you. Like, because we had our built-in calculations in our head. But after seeing that game, I think practically we were proven wrong. The theories that should have worked did not. The Esmeralda not as tanky. So I think, it could have been an experimental draft for Onyx to try to curveball their way into a 3-0.
Okay. And that's it. In terms of execution, it was okay?
It was pretty bad too.
Okay, we'll unpack that just a bit because we are going to throw it over to Alyssa before we get into that. So, Alyssa, take it away.
Hai kembali bersama Ali Lisa Natali pastinya masih di MPL Festival karena Lisa melaporkan langsung dari Jakarta International Velodrome. Dan hari ini Alisa lagi ada di depan boothnya GoPay dan kita lihat ada keseruan apa ya, kayaknya banyak aktivitas menarik di sini. Hai, dengan kakak siapa nih?
Nama aku Genix.
Kak Genix, aku pengen tanya dong, ada aktivitas menarik apa sih di boothnya GoPay?
Wah, banyak banget ya. Ada spin wheel, ada brawl star, dan nanti ada gue star juga yang datang ke sini. Dan kita bakal bagi-bagi hadiah. Terlebih juga kalian bisa nyobain 40 mini games yang ada di GoPay.
Wow, ada 40 mini games, ketemu guest star, bisa ketemu brand ambassador favorit kalian, dan bisa main bareng juga ya?
Betul, main bareng. Karena di sini juga ada activity one on one yang bisa kalian lihat di belakang.
Wow, jadi kita langsung aja nih ya, kita gerebek yang lagi one on one ya. Kita lihat, kayak udah dari tadi nih ya, bentar lagi udah apa? Wow, kita udah dapetin pemenang ya. Congratulations. Siapa namanya nih?
Nama saya Ervan.
Oke, Kak Ervan, ini datang ke MPL Festival ini mau mabar apa gimana?
Mau nonton sih sebenarnya.
Mau nonton ya? Oke, tapi kamu menang by one, seneng gak nih perasaannya?
Seneng banget, selain saya bisa mengalahkan teman saya dapat hadiah juga.
Wow, jadi langsung aja kali ya. Yeay, congratulations. Boleh dong dibuka dong. Dikasih lihat ke penonton nih, biar pada main langsung ke boothnya GoPay. Karena ada berbagai keseruan yang bisa kalian dapatkan. Wow, bagus banget. Langsung dipakai ya nanti?
Ya, mau langsung dipakai soalnya.
Wow, keren banget. Jadi langsung aja teman-teman semua main ke MPL Festival buat dapetin hadiahnya. Thank you so much. And kalian bisa langsung main lagi ya, bisa langsung nonton juga. Dan pastiin kita tunggu kehadiran kalian di MPL Festival karena festivalnya gratis. Dari tanggal 11 sampai 15 Juni 2025 di Jakarta International Velodrome. So see you di Jakarta International Velodrome. Bye!
All right, nice check-in with Alyssa. So yet another booth filled with activities that you guys can get free merch from and free stuff from. So go ahead and check that booth out. Yesterday was the Franco Hook, and there they have the Mabar Barang and stuff like that, which is pretty fun at the MPL Festival. So
I went there yesterday.
Have you tried the Franco Hook?
No.
No, did you?
I haven't, but I think it looks...
You only get one try though.
It looks harder than it looks.
Yeah.
It looks
Looks
harder.
harder than you thought.
It is harder than it looks. It is harder than it
Harder
looks.
than it looks. Looks harder
Than it looks.
than it looks.
Yep.
But speaking of, anyway, we actually have something super cool that is new as well that you guys can actually collect back at home, and that is the
That's good.
MPL cards.
Get the goods.
Cash.
Get the goods.
Cash. You good for it?
Yeah.
You good for it?
Yeah.
Sorry. This limited edition stuff, you know, we gotta be kind of discreet with it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, take the stuff. I'll get this. I'll get this for now.
Oh.
You want the good? You want the stuff? You want the stuff?
Oh, this is gonna fuel my addiction.
You want the stuff? You want the stuff?
What is it? Oh, you guys have it already. Okay, there it is. The MPL cards.
Did we unbox it?
Is over.
Which
As you
one?
guys are unboxing it,
Unbox it out.
I will explain
Wait,
what
It's
this
only got
is.
one per...
This is the Nirvana series, ladies and gentlemen, that is now available and can be purchased directly at the offline
Wait,
booth at the
no.
MPL Festival.
Why did you do
This
that?
collection
Why?
is a
What are
must-have
you
as
supposed
it
to do?
marks an
What
exclusive
is this?
collaboration between
Brother,
OnePlay
this-
as well as MPL
Yeah.
ID. So,
whatever.
if you've been wondering, when is it
No, no,
coming
no,
out,
just
Eternal? When is it
turn-
coming out?
turn it-
Your coach,
Ah.
Captain. The wait is finally over. And of course, each pack includes a random mix of cards. So, your luck will play a big role to see which we will pull. Are you going to get the
Wait,
rare
wait.
card? Or are you gonna get the common cards?
Okay, which player do you want? Which player do you want? Just one player.
Who do you think?
Beloy.
Yeah.
Okay, I want Eman. You?
Okay,
Yao.
one.
What?
Yeah, I was gonna say Yaoi, but
Anyone from TL?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do one for you.
Oh, I want Weedy, I want Weedy.
One for you.
That's
one
a
for
special
me.
one, though.
One for Gani. One for
Oh.
Relice. All right?
Okay.
Show it, show it. One, two,
Two,
three.
three.
Oh, I got Luke!
What?
My boy!
So lucky.
Hey, I got Luke!
You gotta
I got
handle it with care,
lucky.
bro. You gotta handle it with care.
Oh, dude, I'm keeping this. Oh, my lord. Yo, I can't believe I got
Which
Luke.
version was it?
I don't know what version this is. We'll check later, but
Okay.
shall we check Gani?
Yeah, let's go, let's go, let's go.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Whoa!
Oh,
the
this is
whole-
another Luke.
Gani got Bigatron!
It's Luke, it's
This
Luke,
is
it's Luke.
mine. This is all for me.
Wait,
Yeah.
let's take a look at the tiers. Super tier is the black.
This is tier B, I
Wait,
think.
so this is tier A.
Ah,
Okay,
mine is
guys.
tier B. Yeah, you're right. So it's pretty common. We didn't get any super tiers or any premium tiers, unfortunately.
What is this?
That's the common one.
You got tier A. No, that's tier A.
That's
right?
tier A, right?
Oh my lord.
That's tier A.
Okay.
Really?
But we didn't get the premium one.
Wait, this looks pretty good, actually. Player of the week. This
It's
looks
shiny.
Oh, outstanding. Yeah, you're
You got
right.
outstanding, right? Yeah, tier. Yeah, you got an outstanding.
Ah, okay.
Pretty
Now,
good.
what is this?
So this is what? The tier C one.
It's tier B, I think. I believe.
This one looks very
No,
high.
this one is tier B.
This one's tier B. I got a tier B Luke.
Oh, cool.
Get it? Because it's B tier R. B tier R. B tier. B tier.
Yeah. And by the way, guys, if you have a
My goats.
not, if you have a, you know, a fun likeness towards
addicted to it.
surprise mechanic,
Hey.
or if you're
Match two, match
an
two.
avid gacha player like Arashi, you gotta collect this one.
Ah.
Bless you.
Whew.
Yeah, it's getting
Sorry.
pretty cold here.
No, I'm allergic.
So I got all
Allergic
my
to what?
boys. You
Allergic
guys
to
got
not
none.
opening these cards.
You guys
You just opened it.
Fine, it's fine.
No, but there's
These are
one
mine.
more.
These are my boys. Fine.
Wow.
You can have that.
You can buy in the venue right now, guys.
Oh,
And
she
people
just
are-
gotcha'd it.
Whoa!
Oh,
That's Shive.
All
got it.
right,
She
that
got
is
another
not
shiny.
Chive, brother.
What?
That is Hanafi. Oh, Annabelle, my goat. Okay, there's Chive.
That's Shive. Yeah, I know.
No, previously it was Hanafi, bro.
I look at the back.
Lutpi, outstanding
oh,
card.
that's the same card we got.
Yeah, we got. Oh, Lutpi's kind of quite common then.
Oh,
yes,
what in
Gio.
the world? That's unfair.
Last card, or was it already 5? No way.
Yeah.
Oh, it is Hanafi. Okay.
Man,
Wow.
how much did we sell?
She's shaking. She's shaking.
Gee, wow.
I would love to get an autographed version of Belois.
That's super cool.
That would make my day.
Wait, so how much do one of these cost? You guys know?
It's I think one pack is 50,000
Yep.
IDR.
50K.
Hey, the value can go up if you got the autograph one.
Dude, I
Like
want
buy us like 100, and then we like full.
ask Moonton.
No, you buy us 100.
I don't have that money.
I should sneeze now. That would be the perfect time to sneeze.
Why?
Addicted to lies.
Oh.
I am not lying. Oh my God, Luke fell just like in playoffs. Sorry.
Oh.
Sorry.
Too soon. How about this guy though? Did he
I hope I
foul in the
get a
playoffs?
yellow card.
Cars, I love you,
I'm excited for the second
but
pack.
they did not.
Excited for the second pack, guys. Excited for the second pack.
Let's open
Can
it
we
now.
open it now?
Yeah. go.
Like genuinely, I really want to
true.
open it now.
Please.
Listen, it's better to say sorry than to ask for
Yeah,
permission.
but then I'll be the one to have to say sorry.
Exactly.
Stop.
There's
No.
no
Put it
responsibility.
down. Put it down.
I,
No, no.
I do want to.
No,
Okay.
no.
Should we rebel?
Heads or tails? Heads. Heads is the picture. Tails is the.
No, no.
Kevin, call it.
Heads.
That means we don't open it.
Ah.
Yes.
I mean, you can look at the booth here.
Whoa! Wait.
Looks pretty
that's-
good.
Oh, I want the Iman one, brother, please.
Oh,
Black
that's
hair
sick.
Kairi.
Oh my goodness, that looks so good. Okay.
Oh, man.
I might have an addiction. Thank you, MPL.
This is my worry. You know? I like these things, but I feel like I'm gonna be
Addicted to it.
deep into this.
I'm gonna have to like put in covers for them, you know? Like,
Yeah.
oh man.
The sleeves.
The sleeves, the
and
card
grade them.
sleeves.
It's gonna grade them too.
Maybe you can get one of the Leo ones, you know, the girl sleeves. Yeah, like
what?
sleeves that has a Leo.
Why Leo?
Leo has it for his.
Oh, for
yeah,
magic.
Yeah.
Ah.
And
Oh.
Gideon.
Okay, previous game recap though. Okay, we're on their way to perhaps a reverse sweep here.
Hey, come on, come on.
We're on the way. We're on the way.
Hey, I'm not the one saying it, all right? I'm not the one saying it.
We did say
You really
that
think it's
we-
possible?
They're still starters. Maybe they're finally getting their groove.
Do you think that's
Matter.
not possible?
I think it is possible, but
There
it's
you go,
unlikely.
there you go.
It's unlikely to happen.
All
here,
Geek
right?
needs is 1% of possibility. You know what they did in season 14?
Yeah.
And they're gonna replicate it again here.
But in season 4, oh,
Back on blue side.
Hey kids already feeling the vibe. You see that? He's doing the, what is this?
I don't know, but he's smiling though.
The velocity.
Oh, the Velociraptors.
The Velociraptors.
Okay.
Second pick again. They are not swapping sides. They
Nope.
both want to stick to their guns here. Now, is this a good thing or a bad thing?
I think it's a good thing. For who?
Exactly. That's why.
I think
You
for
think it's good for
both actually. just because they prefer, like they prefer their sides, you know, they want to change. Coach Yep, he is a second pick merchant, you know, and all the merchants gotta come out here in the fourth game, I think. Suyo merchant, Paramis merchant, Kalea merchant.
I honestly feel like the Faramis could have been countered instantly by a Yves pick. That's why they banned it out, right? The Valentina and the Yves. I wonder why they are... I guess the Lilia, they were hyping up the Lilia. They were trying to set up for the Lilia. But was it worth it in the end? I don't think so, right? I think go back to the normal counters in the meta, where it's already good. Yeah, you can bring up the Lilia maybe sometime in the future, but here, I think it's all good, man.
And maybe don't pick the Claude in the first pick.
Yeah.
You want to try to...
No one's going to pick that, right?
Yeah.
Like,
no one's going to pick that. You can secure that in the second phase, and it would be fine and daddy. And there's a lot of replacement, I think, for the Claude. Not only the greatest approximate there is, but we are going to the second.
Adjustments will need to be done here,
No
ladies and gentlemen, as we get into game number 4. So far, it is looking quite similar, right? The drafting phase presented by the official smartphone Samsung Galaxy A36 5G. There it is, exact same.
Kalea, go for it again, Geek Fam. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Unless they want to go to chip again and then raise the death.
But you can see the script, right? First game, it was a stomp, you know? Second game, minimal adjustment, still a stomp.
Third is a stomp.
Now minimal adjustment, it's a stomp again.
All right, Onyx. Now, do they go for the Yves just to try to sniff out a possible Faramis pick instead of the Claude plus the Badong? No, they steal it with a Harith and a Badong. Another solid answer, yeah.
Yeah, a lot more sustainability, and you can kind of roam around the map with the Badang a lot more safer, and you don't really have to pick that Purify that Keyboy did in the third game, because like when you're picking a chip and going for a Purify, like you kind of shoot yourself in the foot.
You still go Suyo now for Geek Fam, right? They've set up for it by banning Kimi, Farsa, and the Joy. Those are the 3 heroes that usually bring trouble to a Suyo pick, but now the Harith is on the other side.
Do you want to go Granger here?
I think the safe choice is going to be Granger or Moskov plus the Suyo.
Moskov?
I don't think you want to go Faramis here, right? They do. Suyo and Faramis against the Harith Badang. Now Onyx have a shot to... They can go for the Hayabusa again here, but I think after last game, it's better to go for the Yves. There you go. Yves for Onyx.
For the second phase of the bans here, looking at Geek, they don't have that gold lead just yet, and right away the Claude ban. Yes, they like the Claude, but like against a Harith, I think you want to have that matchup.
Are we in a different multiverse? Did we just get transported into a different multiverse?
I mean, maybe you want to just give a safety towards Sans. That's the idea, because that's the only dive marksman that they can pick.
There's a Badonkadonk though. There's gonna be so much more later on as well. But all right, let's see how they go for it. Maybe it's just the 2 blinking heroes that they'll take away, Moskov and Claude. Both heroes can deal with the with the Harith just through blinking away from the Synchro Fission. Geek Fam. I don't even think they need to ban Chip at this point, right? Like Onyx have shown
just
how
Baksha and Fredrin, right?
weird they've been on Chip. So yeah, Baksha, Fredrin.
Or is that an overkill?
If Onyx go Fredrin, Geek Fam will go Glue. I think the Glue is still pretty solid, and then they'll end up with like a Moskov, Iridithel, Granger, but all 3 works. They can still go 1-1 too, by the way.
Oh yeah, you're right.
If they take away the Hayabusa, they could go for the 1-1, Geek Fam.
Surprisingly, this is the first time in all 4 games that I feel like in the first phase, I have more faith in Geek Fam's composition than Onyx. And it becomes even more. Yeah.
Oh.
There you go, 1-1's gone. But again, there's still a lot of option for Geek Fam. They can stick to the Moskov, you know, split push kind of mechanic, or maybe just want to go for Granger because you already have the Kalea to lock down the people in front of you.
So Fredrin or Hayabusa? Which one do they
yeah, you're right.
They go for the Fredrin ban. So the Hayabusa is up for grabs for Onyx. It's a comfort pick for Kairi. But do they have enough?
Yeah, in the third game, it was like an absolute beat down from Bobrisky towards Kairi.
Because of the Kalea.
Yeah.
The Kalea just shut down the Haya so well. Now what do they go for? I don't...
Do they go more AoE, export jungle?
Nah, I don't like it here. Actually, Yeah, I'm not a big fan of it. Man, what's up in the jungle?
Alpha. What else?
Go CC first, so they're thinking of a utility jungle here. They already have a lot of damage. It'll be weird if they don't go utility jungle
Alpha,
here.
Lucas, Leomord.
Oh, Lucas actually is pretty good.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Lucas last pick.
Why is no one picking it up in this series?
I think it's just because both teams are really, really smart. Lucas is very one-dimensional. You know, you want to look for an instant team fight. It's right as you get the Sacred Beast form. If you don't utilize the Sacred Beast form, or if the opponent team is able to bait it out from you, you become useless for quite a bit until you build up the Rage Bar.
So you're implying that the one that picks Lucas all the time
is
not
one-dimensional.
smart?
Is one-dimensional.
Okay.
I agree. Like, we saw that yesterday, right?
Damn. Dissing your own team?
Hey, that's why they're my team. I support them, I can diss them. Geek. Moss. Oh, they go for the great. There you go. So they still go for the glue, anticipating the utility jungle pick from Onyx, and the Granger safe. Last pick for Onyx.
Should, I mean, it's gotta be Lu. Ah, the glue again too. I mean, is it only limited to utility? They can still go for a Hayabusa here if they want to. Yes, the front line is gonna be a bit more minimal, but you're up against a Faramis, a Granger, and they've
all-out damage.
Yeah, that's the Onyx way, right? They did it against CL, and it was Faramis Yehezkiel.
Ling, even
That's another way
crazier.
to counter it.
Okay.
Is Ling safe into this composition from Geek?
I don't know if safe is the right word.
I don't think the assassins are safe, but
it really gonna depend on how
it's a comfort.
Macro, how good Kairi is.
Hey, thought it was gonna come down to that, ladies and gentlemen. Can Onyx do this? We're still at match point. One more game away of an Onyx victory. An Onyx moving over into the upper bracket finals. But will Geek be able to force maybe another series? Force them into a best of one? Only time will tell. We're gonna throw it over to our casters. Take it away.
And obviously we are back in the Land of Dawn to what could be the last match of the series. But Geek Fam, they have showed grit, they have showed power, and they have showed that they might even force the reverse sweep to happen.
Let's see, right? Will they equalize in this game and make the series onto a 2-2? Or will we see Onyx finding and securing a point, the point that will take them to the final upper brackets?
Kairi back on a special pick, right? This is a special pick, the Ling. He likes to play this Ling a lot. And obviously that helps with the kill pressure as well. But I had my own questions on how will it work? When it's picked against the Faramis, obviously has that second life. So take a look at the emblems. Nothing out of the ordinary. Still Badang with the QC, the Impure Rage, and the Faramis with the QC as well. Just wanting to have that gap closer and help out with either the Shadow Stampede or even later on with the Nether Realm. But as of now, it's only back to basics for both teams. Granger against the Harith down bottom. It's a safe pick for the Granger. The Harith does bully the Granger pre-level 4. Post-level 4, the Granger can fight back, right? And even Kairi already invading into the enemy jungle. Not level 4 yet.
Seems
now
like
level 4.
Not now level 4. Both junglers invading that green camp near the gold crab. That's going to be Keyboy and Beloy. Face shaking in that bush. A boy trying to pull. Sounds great. Timing on the Purify. Jumps. Kairi not committing the Tempest of Blade just yet though.
Still keeps it either as an offensive tool or a defensive tool, right? Because the Ling can be so elusive. And I think for Geek Fam, at least to have the lockdown to catch and reel in this Ling with the Tsunami Slam. But I think the Ling will be harder to catch compared to the Hayabusa, given he has the Fidge Poise as well. Now Makits makes his way up top. Lutpi under pressure. Keyboy backs them up.
Nope, let's see, not level 4 just yet though. Kairi is in the vicinity. Doesn't really want to commit on towards a fight, nor the turtle just yet here as Geek. They are initiating the turtle.
Congregation of players here fighting for the turtle. Will this be a steal? RWM open!
That's going to be the Nether Realm triggered as well, but Makins finds the first turtle. That's going to be a boy taken down alongside Beloy. That's going to be Lutpi though mounted.
Yep, still mounting, hitchhiking a free ride. Gobs next in the chopping block, but they don't want to go on him. Makits though might get caught.
Oh no, great isolation, great kill. 3-0 on the board for the yellow porcupine.
Oh my. What was that damage though in the initial 2 kills that Onyx were able to grab? That was some burst coming in from Onyx, and now Geek Fam, they are in the pedestal. 1 kill to Kairi, 2 to Keyboy, but still, it makes sense that Onyx have prio early on. They have the Badang to help out with it. The Ling, you kind of can, you know, semi-retreat the turtle when you're in the Tempest of Blades form. And that helps as well, as to not really commit to the pit, opposed to Hayabusa maybe, who jumps into it, right? So for now, Kairi plays a little bit more safe. The Ling, come the late game, can also be a problem. Now, another problem for Geek Fam is the fact that the Yve has been picked, right? This RWM is AoE. And Geek Fam, they want to group up when the fight happens because they need that resource from the Netherrealm, that sustainability. But the RWM kind of bursts them down as well, especially when they are, you know, clumped up together. So I'm very, very curious to see how Geek Fam will find a workaround behind that.
Yeah, it seems like both teams this time different from game 1, 2, and 3, where the early game relatively action-packed. This time seems like both teams just slowing down, waiting for their mid-game power spikes, right? And so far, it's a calm gold lane as well. Nothing too crazy, but we might see a change after the next turtle take.
Yep, 7 seconds, 5 onto the respawn as well. Kenziski is here, and at least for Kenziski, he is able to bob and weave in the fight from afar. He has that range, right? For Severo, it is him having to get close to the players of Geek Fam.
3-man knockup, Keyboy, very low. Naked finds the turtle. That's gonna be the RWM though, locking Beloy down as Severo picks up the kill.
Oh, they go straight into Lutpi, and Kenziski still unable to put him down, get him down. And Lutpi survives, only Keyboy the casualty. It's a trade between roamers, but the turtle was secured for Make It 2 out of 3 so far. Let's take a look at the items. Hunter Strike completed for Make It, the Berserker's Fury as well for Kairi. So at least the junglers are battle ready. War Axe for Lutpi as well, to have that sustainability, to have that life kill, and the Velvam, excuse me. And it enables him to be in the team fight much more longer. I mean, we have seen Lutpi with the CC, right? Just jumping into the backline, just holding them in place. Just looking for the flank angle, looking for the backline. Up top though, Kairi faces Gobs.
I've got to be careful there. And seems like Ranger or Kenzie is on his way towards that Sky Piercer. So,
yeah,
you know, Onyx, they got to be careful. And Geek Fam, once Sky Piercer is inside the arsenal of Kenzie, they need to funnel the kill on towards just Kenzie, right? So that stack can be optimized.
Oh, I mean, look at the pressure from Suyo as well, right? I mean, it is equally matched from the Ling, because the Ling can do the same, even better, because the Ling has the Finch voice up. Beloyski was looking for a Tsunami Slam, conceal play, but Onyx, look at that peel from the Granger. That Sonata was just dissuading them from continuing and turning it around into an engage. But as of now, Onyx, they know that this Granger might grow much more danger by the minute. Like you said, Sky Piercer, once that's ready, it can be very, very bleak for them, because the Granger with the Sky Piercer, very easy to proc, right? You just need to stand back from afar. You have that potential of a burst down, especially as a Granger. You really want to have the stacks going. The earlier, the better. It translates into even greater late game. And against a Yve, you don't need to commit into the chess box of the Yve, right? You can hit from afar. You have that's another, like I talked about previously. So as of now, Geek, they have safer options in the table.
Uh-oh, gotta be careful. That's gonna be real world population locking members. Now Lutpi, first one to fall.
The Lord, or rather the Turtle, still secured by Make It, but they're stuck in the middle. Kairi still survives, but look at Gobs mounting.
Uh-oh, isolated, has the flicker, spent it. That's gonna be Gobs though, taken down. Great calculation there by Kairi. 2 members down and out. Though, Onyx, they lost the Turtle.
3 for 3 for the Turtle. Make It turning up when needed. But look at Onyx with the side lane pressure again. Kairi, this guy knows how to time his movements, right? 1 second you see him down bottom in the lane, just pushing that wave in towards Geek Fam, the next second you see him next to you. And the objective, the neutral objective. But so far, he hasn't been able to win out on the Red 3 battles because Makids, obviously, with the Suyo, you have the Soul Sever that kind of helps you to tone down the threshold of the HP. And it just bursts down the objective. Plus the Red 3 on top, which makes it kind of hard to, win out that Red 3 battle, especially on a professional level. As of now, though, it's Onyx still leading the kill department, plus the gold lead as well, dwindling slowly. So Geek Fam, they couldn't care less about that gold, or rather that kill deficit, They have that power already spiking onto them. And Kanziski, he has the Sky Piercer. So that is going to be troublesome for Onyx. For Savero, he has that survivability, the Feather of Heaven. I think it'll be a back and forth team fight.
It will, right? Again, mid-game power spike. It seems like Onyx, they committed 4 bodies top lane. They will trade their inner turret bottom side, though. Because no info. No one's showing from the side of Geek Fam. That's why Kai, he'd rather play it safe.
Makids has been very good looking for the cross-map play. Tsunami Slam!
On towards Keyboy. That's just going to be the Badang half HP. Great cover there by Sans. Just negates the threat from Geek Fam. Let's see here. The first Lord is up. I want to know what's up.
Well, I mean, for Onyx, I think they kind of have a harder time to kind of navigate onto the Lord Pit later on because Geek Fam, they also have the Peel Gobs to the front line. Against the CC, obviously the CC can't really soak up the damage as much as the glue does. Plus on top, they have the Netherrealm, and then they have the Loiski to jump in with a Tsunami Slam or with a save. So I think Onyx needs to wait. They don't need to start a turtle. Oh, Gobs!
That's an engage, trying to close the gap. Real world manipulation. Caught early. Sans very low, taken down. It's a 5v4, baby. Now Lutpi taken down as well. That's going to be a double for Makids. Actually, that's going to be a trade. Tempest the Blade finds Kenzie.
Kairi with the swords, very sharp. Makids might look for a clapback.
That's C. Severo. Trying to space out Makids. Makids.
Oh!
So lethal on the Suyo. And he adds another kill as Keyboy will not find a way to escape. That's almost a wipeout.
Makids is Suyo, and Suyo is Makids. Look at him just having that killer instinct. He might smile, but he stares deep into your soul, and that's a Veragon. This Lord 3 for Geek Fam.
The opening from Gobs was just so amazing. He went on towards Sans.
Yeah.
And that was a right opening. That was a right call. And yeah, First Lord will fall to the Geeks.
That was also a forceful RWM, right? Sans, he was forced to open it up, asked to not have the follow-up come help Gobs. But he was bursted down quickly. I mean, the boy was quick on the pounds and helped the players of Geek Fam, or rather Gobs. And take a look at the real-time gold grab. It's just boosting up. It stonks for Geek Fam. Oh, Kairi. Might be naughty, but no. Geek Fam, they have their sights on this mid turret. The Lord as well down bottom. Severo has to clear this, but he has to be careful. Gobs might just jump at him.
Unfortunate there. The Holy Shield did not land on towards the Lord, so this might favor the Geeks very, very well. They will not push their pressure there. They will chill and back away. Kairi is trying to relieve the pressure, clearing the mid.
I mean, he's cutting the waves, right? Up top, down bottom, or rather in mid. And it creates the fact that, the waves can't really crash onto that second tier turret. For Onyx, they have safety measures, but as of now, Geek Fam are always favored in the team fights because they have the sustainability, they have the defense. Lutpi is just yo-yoing his way.
Office crack finds a boy. No mid laner, no Netherrealm for Geek this time, and Gobs isolated here. Short fall. Severo claims the kill. Great response there, Onyx. Now just 3 men standing for Geek.
And thankfully, our boy is playing a Faramis, so the death timer is indeed very, very low. 16 seconds, and now he's back on the Land of Dawn. And Onyx, this might be the time frame, the window, where they might look for something. A turret, maybe? But look at Geek Fam, they're clumping up together. They won't defend it, because they know they have to respect Onyx power as well. It's slowly creeping up. Kairi with 3 items, the Endless Battle, for that extra 2 damage as well, right? Wishing Lantern for the Yeet, for Sans. Adds even greater burst damage, and the passive from the Wishing Lantern as well kind of dissuades you from moving forward. But look at Makids. He has that Queen's Wings purchased. So at least he has that physical damage reduction in case he gets, toppled down by Kairi.
Like, it's just back and forth, mid-game. We are almost at late-game territory. Turret-wise, still favors the Geek. 5 turrets claimed. And let's see here, what will Onyx do to equalize that turret?
I think now for Geek Fam, they have to find a way to address the CC. The CC doesn't care if it's mounted to the glue. The CC will always try to hit you constantly, right? That constant DPS can't really be helped. I mean, sure, you have the Nether Realm, but the RWM can come through, and then you're all silenced, and you have no way out of that chess box from the Eve. But Geek Fam, they're focusing the offense on this Lord, and Make It is here as well. Kairi might look for something down bottom, but it's Keyboy with the conceal. Severo!
Oh my god, almost finds a solo. That's gonna be the Tsunami Slam. Trying to provide cover for Kenzie by Baloy. And Sans taken down off camera. 2 members from Onyx, they're out.
Oh, look, B just bursted down. And now it's Keyboy, only with his fist, not his sword.
Oh, the 2 perimeters created by Geek favored them as Make It picks up the triple. And that's just gonna be Kairi recalling. No, he went down, so it's a wipeout. And Geek Fam, they might push the bottom side. And is this it?
This might be it. I mean, they're not going for the Lord. Kairi has to defend this. Which type is the blades?
Let's see, Severi's there. Kaboy bursted. But take a look at the main base, ladies and gentlemen. That's a defense. Clutch defense by Onyx. Kai picks up the Maniac, and that's a wipeout for Onyx.
Divine intervention from the Sky King. Who else but Kairi? Picks up a Maniac, wipes Geek Fam clean. And now they want to look for that push towards the base. A boy is up, Blood Wings purchased, gives him extra damage at defense, but a boy!
Oh, the turnaround, a boy!
It's over!
It is all over! Onyx secures game 3, and they secure the final upper brackets.
Kairi! Practically a 1v4. Only him and 5 sword stands in Geek Fam way. And he makes it happen. The Maniac for him to help usher the minions back to the base. A wipeout to boot. And Onyx, they look to be pouncing to the upper bracket final. 1 step closer to MSC. 1 step closer for booking a ticket towards Riyadh.
1 step closer as well to win MPLID Season 15. Ladies and gentlemen, 2 seasons ago, Onyx, they lifted their trophy MPLID in the Jakarta International Velodrome. Will it happen again? They defeated Geek Fam that time around in this stage, and they have done it.
This is their domain. This is their domain. This is the Sky Kings' domain. And Kairi welcomes them with open arms. Geek Fam, they have to go down to the lower bracket. And now it's up to them to activate that lower bracket buff that they have, the power that they have. And take a look at this Kairi. I mean, it was helped by Severo as well, right?
Definitely.
So practically, it's not really a 1v4, but at the same time, he was holding his ground. Severo helped with the Zaman Force as well. And Kairi just follows up with the damage. Wow, wow, wow. So beautiful. But up on stage, it is the Sky Kings with an interview with Bude, Clara, Mongstar. So Bude, take it away.
Dan Sonic sedang merayakan Onyx yang bertahan di upper bracket. Perjuangan yang pastinya berbuah manis untuk mereka. Pembalasan dendam berhasil kalian lakukan. Kalian sempat ditaklukkan di game yang ketiga. Tapi gimana sih pada akhirnya bisa menang nih 3-1 melawan Geek Fam?
Yang pasti seneng sih, keinget season kemarin kan kita kalah di playoff juga.
Oke, apakah itu menjadi motivasi tersendiri untuk menghadapi mereka hari ini?
Ya benar, motivasi banget.
Dipulangin di hari pertama nggak enak ya?
Ya nggak enak.
Nggak enak.
Ya.
Dan sekarang bertahan di upper bracket, menurunkan mereka ke lower bracket. Seberapa sulit perjuangan kalian untuk berada tetap di upper bracket?
Seberapa sulit? Ya lumayan sulit sih Bude. Pertahanin buat menang-menang gitu.
Pertahanin menang-menang. Apakah ini ada suatu keunggulan karena kalian sudah menjajaki? Kemarin udah sempat main di sini nih. Gimana sih lihat kalian Geek Fam untuk hari ini? Apakah mereka tidak seperti Geek Fam yang ada di regular season atau gimana?
Bulmia.
Wow, dan ketika improvement dari Geek Fam ternyata bisa kalian kalahkan. Ini cukup menarik karena ini seru banget di babak playoff ini, bahkan banyak kejutan-kejutan yang terjadi. Gak hanya dari gameplay namun juga dari hero-hero. Gila San! Mengeluarkan salah satu hero signature-mu yang dulu Lilia muncul hari ini. Kenapa baru hari ini nih?
Apa sorry?
Kenapa baru hari ini Liliamu muncul?
Nggak tahu, pas aja sih. Cuman sayangnya kalah tadi.
Oke, sayangnya kalah. Jadi, udah makin penasaran. Ini game ketiga, ada apa dengan Onyx game yang ketiga? Nggak cuma hari ini, tapi juga kemarin. Game ketiga selalu ada problem nih di Onyx.
Oh di game 3 apa? Oh ya, di game 3 apa ya, kita kayak kurang, hero-nya nggak terlalu kuat sih, kayak turtle pertama gitu susah banget. Jadinya si Geek mendominasi banget, jadi masuk ke mid game, late game jadi susah.
Oke, jadi memang tidak bisa untuk menghalau adanya hero-hero yang memang agak sulit dan jadinya snowballing. Tapi kita ngeliat, ini bukan kutukan game ketiga ya. Hari kemarin kan juga game ketiga tuh kalah.
Ya benar.
Bukan karena itu. Bukan karena kutukan game ketiga, nggak ada tuh kutukan game ketiga.
Oh bukan sih pastinya, emang kalah aja sih, nggak ada kutukan-kutukan.
Nggak ada ya?
Ya betul.
Ini nggak main klinik-klinikan ini, tapi kalau ngelihat dari banyak hal yang terjadi hari ini dengan adanya pertarungan yang super rame. Bisa dibilang ini pertemuan lagi dari Savero, ini seru banget. Awal-awal game kita ngelihat nggak banyak perubahan dari tim Onyx. Game 1, game kedua masih dengan hero-hero yang bisa dibilang mirip, begitu juga dengan Geek Fam. Ini memang kalian tuh ingin ngotot di 2 game awal. Kalian punya strategi khusus nggak sih untuk ngelawan Geek Fam?
Gak ada sih, Kimi Gilang aja terlalu OP.
Kimi Gilang aja terlalu OP. Memang sebagai kuncian ya, tapi ini adalah panggung keduamu. Apakah kamu merasakan hal yang berbeda di panggung ini?
Masih sama aja sih.
Masih sama? Berarti udah nyaman ya di panggung ini?
Udah.
Udah nyaman. Tapi Savero, mempertahankan upper bracket. Dari Savero sendiri, apakah itu menjadi tujuan utama dari Savero?
Enggak sih, sebenarnya tujuan utamanya ya EWC sama juara.
Oh, mau lewat jalur manapun yang penting juara dan EWC.
Ya.
Tapi tinggal 1 langkah lagi sebenarnya. Setelah ini kalian menang, besok kalau kalian menang otomatis jadi grand finalis dan otomatis masuk EWC. Jika menang, makin selangkah lebih dekat lagi. Apakah dari Savero sendiri ada sesuatu yang mungkin Savero simpan? Karena kan selangkah maju. Ada persiapan diri sendiri belum?
Lihat aja match selanjutnya.
Lihat aja match selanjutnya. Tapi menarik di mana match kali ini tadi ditutup dengan adanya maniak dari Link milik Kairi. Kairi, kamu menutup game 4 dengan